Okay, good evening, everybody. We're live. The teams are getting set up. Right now, it's only a committee member and Easton's there. We're still waiting for bots to come. Also, my co-commentary, that being Steve, is going to arrive in like 10 to 15 minutes. So, beyond waiting, there's not much to do right now. Also, big thanks for the tech support to our inspiring hat, who walked me through the use of OBS and everything else in the afternoon today. I was kind of newish to all of that. Let's put it like this. Okay, and it looks like bots has arrived as well. Whoop. My cell's going off. That means somewhere. Yes. So Steve, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Can you hear me?
Fantastic. Yes, I do hear you. Now let's see if Niels is actually in the stream, and let's see if he can hear us. And I'm going to join the game channel on Discord.
Yeah, I'm just joining the room, and then I'm going to join the game channel.
And also, I'm muted on the game channel because, you know, otherwise
obvious
they'll
obs.
yeah. What are these bots doing? Oh, this is a very bad move.
Streams online, perfect. Okay, okay. Radio then, buddy. Game plans?
Okay. Niels is in committee.
Good. Do you want to do 4 each to start with? And then you obviously get your extra 4 and stuff.
They're already starting. So
4 each. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, just because obviously, like if one of us takes 7, you get or 8, you get the chance of getting the both 7s in there. I think.
Okay. I haven't heard that, but okay, sure.
Also, everybody.
Okay, sure.
Everybody
all right,
who's joining. This is us being absolute noobs at this. Same Steve and I guess. Unless Steve, you now unveil your secret identity as the best streamer of all time.
yeah, exactly. I'm amazing with technology, as everyone knows. So let's just see. Okay. I've got so they're just drawing cards at the moment. I'm just going to have to.
And I think we get the first view of one of the players blatantly cheating. The Navigator's players is keeping one more game plan deck card as the other player.
So it's I mean, already I think it's a straight disqualification, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. We can thank you everybody for joining this. We're done.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. So we are obviously not transmitting the audio from the. Oh, are we? Yeah, we are. We are broadcasting the audio as well. I really have to get this sorted with how loud it is.
Well, I've got one captain and one mascot because, you know.
I think we've seen the first drop, which is Corsair and Tentacles, which I think is the expected drop for captain and mascot.
So first pick is going to be
Steve is receiving. I think so. This my guess is we will see the Chubb Club from Steve Easton. Yep. Because the Navigators don't like Tough Hide too much. So Corsair feels good in that sense, Kraken feels good in that sense. I think with this match it'll be quite interesting because obviously both are very experienced players. I think Steve is probably slightly less experienced with this team, but I think the way that it forces Alex to play, we know Alex likes to fight, he usually plays fighting guilds, and I think Corsair forces Alex to play more football, so he's obviously a very good player and can flex, but he might be playing slightly more outside of his natural wheelhouse.
So where do you see ahead?
I'll take Fathom as well.
I think he's receiving. I think we'll see Siren.
Oh, okay.
original Siren.
There we go. Yeah, personally, I think I might have thought about taking Vetsicana, but I'm not sure if. Yeah, he does have Vetsicana in his code. I'd maybe taken Vetsicana for the bonus time and the bag of coffers and things like that, but Siren is a pretty good model to dump the ball on if Alex is going to take original Siren.
Right. Did you see how Alex renamed Angel?
What the use? Is she even in the 8?
Yeah, and he called it bad model.
Yeah, when we did the podcast about Navigators, I think the way we explained it was we're going to talk about the 7 models in Navigators, and we'll try and pretend Angel is useful.
Okay,
she is sadly not the best. So I think we're seeing Alex kicking here.
Yes. We actually have people in the chat by now. That's great.
And I would expect to see Fathom kick probably move on to that piece of terrain to the right of Windfinder. That would be where I think she'll go, because that obviously gives her 2 options for herself to heroic off and push up her threat range. I guess the question for Alex when he kicks will be how far will he bring Fathom forward? Will he bring her outside of Ebb's 4-inch aura? Because it means he might be slightly deeper, but he would have anatomical from Ebb, but he might not be able to exert quite as much kick pressure. And I think what we'll see from Steve is an attempt to recover the ball, probably with Siren.
This is why she goes to the right here.
Yeah, maybe Fathom, and then dumping the ball onto one of Tentacles or Knuckles.
Yes.
So I think you can see that there. There's basically, we're going to see a wall in front of Tentacles. If I was Steve, I'd be tempted to push those models slightly closer together so that Fathom can't actually see Tentacles to charge them. But charging into that is pretty bad, because obviously you'll take the crowd outs from Knuckles, you risk taking Gravity Well from Kraken, so it makes it tough.
Yes. That's
sure.
to be expected. Also,
okay, sounds good.
What's the question I wanted to ask? I completely forgot.
Should we say who we are in case anyone's listening?
Go ahead, Steve.
So my name's Steve Cole. I'm already knocked out of this tournament, so I'm commentating in an unbiased way. Some of you will know me from Singled Out, and some of you will know me from the Guild Ball Community Project.
It's nice to have you. And my name is Kjell Dikinger. I'm part of the community project as well, doing mostly art. I didn't even qualify for this tournament, but that's also because I'm a very bad player.
So 2 days.
You're very humble. Okay, so we're seeing Fathom going for the little kick just over the line, which I think makes sense because it forces one of the models from Steve to come forward, potentially be in a position for Azimuth to go into them later on in the turn.
So that's going to be Fathom now, wouldn't it?
I think it probably has to be Fathom, and she probably wants to get back behind that piece of cover.
Yes. So the question I wanted to ask you is, you obviously not being a TO, what was your take on the TOs, that being Sonny and I, forcing everybody to play on the same pitch for the first round?
Oh, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I like it. It takes advantage of some of the features of Vassal. It allows you to have a think about, a bit in advance. And it seems quite standard for online tournaments that everyone plays. I played an online Infinity tournament, and everyone would play on the same map.
Yes.
So what do you think? What do you think the plan is? Because you're a footballer normally, aren't you, Scaroff? Do you?
Yes.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to win this? Let's have a call now.
Okay. I'm actually giving it to the Navigators.
I've got one more.
I think if they're not getting stuck in the beat everybody up game, and even if, especially if they can either get the ball here soonish or take out the player soon, that being Fathom, I think, the most likely one. I think he has a very good chance to take it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting decision to receive. I'm not sure whether you want to kick or receive as Fish in this matchup, and I think this probably comes down to I'd have liked to maybe seen one on Tentacles for a blind, but I think we'd like to see quite a standoffish first turn, where maybe what happens is Fathom goes in, last activation for the Navigators, and generates a bunch of momentum. But this, I think, Steve Easton here wants Fathom to be as deep as possible after she's made these passes.
Okay.
Yes, obviously, because if she's not deep enough, Azimuth is primed to take her out, basically.
Exactly, yeah. And you've got also the access to lure on Siren. So what you've seen there is Fathom retreating into the melee zones of all of Steve's team. Because what that means is she'll be knocked down if anyone comes to lure. So quick activation, Ebb comes as near to Fathom as possible to set up the auras. Knuckles. Then we're seeing Azimuth, so I think we'll probably see a full speed ahead on. Oh no, Azimuth's being pulled by Wander under guide into position. This you'll see these players have thought this through. This will be rushed out fast. So I think you'll then see.
Oh no, the character plays 4, right?
The decision point comes, I think, for Steve is when does he want to take that? When, if ever, does he want to take that ball of tentacles?
Or like there, and pull Azimuth there.
I think only if he gets a takeout on Kraken.
Over to you.
And feel free to agree with me, but I think he's the biggest controlling piece in here.
If he can get to Azimuth, yeah. So there you see you've now got Azimuth in range of Kraken.
Tentacles is just going to stay there.
Okay, so stats big. Steve's killed the ball on tentacles. I think that might be an issue. I'd have looked maybe at getting the ball onto Siren and getting her right out onto the wing, because I think...
Wait, he dropped it on tentacles?
Tentacles is activated and is not moved. He's staying on the goal. So the intent, I think, is that Fathom can't really get to that, but I think what you will now see is Windfinder put full speed ahead on Azimuth, and Azimuth go into Kraken.
Yes. Also, just as a strategy question, with Jamie showing us how it's done just in the last hour, do you think it would have been better for Tentacles to walk behind the goalpost?
So he's now got 11 inches.
No, no. Well, maybe in this situation, I think it makes it tough. I think the trouble is, if Tentacles does that, what happens is that basically Alex waits till the start of next turn, knocks down everybody, and then forces the Corsair team to go first. When everyone is knocked down, they can't generate momentum. So I think that's tricky. So I think we're seeing either the Siren or the Knuckles activation here from Steve. I am interested to see. Also, we've seen Knuckles move up, put the melee zone around. I wonder if he slightly boxed him there, because that does affect the ability to get off lightning reflexes, because of where Fathom is.
Fathom and Kraken.
Yeah, I actually think Steve might be playing slightly too quickly for his... Alex is obviously, because you're kicking, you're doing quite an automated set of actions, and especially with Navigators, this is very standard turn 1. And I think maybe we're seeing a few more things. So there we can see that I don't think Steve can reach anyone with Corsair. Fathom is in range, but is blocked by his Fathom.
We're going to go...
Yes. So what do you think?
We could see a lure from Siren here.
A lure from Siren onto
I think we could
Fathom?
see from Steve Siren onto Fathom, just to pull her out of cover, which affects her threat ranges. But he may then be, but it probably depends if that puts Siren in range of Azimuth. That would be the...
So I was advised to up my microphone. Give me a second to figure this out, because I'm a pro with OBS and know everything about this.
Yeah, we've not only, in no way did we only realize that we need a separate call to do the thing. Okay, so we've seen Siren come into the bunch now.
Oh, wow.
I think we're going to see Azimuth come in and knock down a bunch of people here. And actually, what's interesting is I don't think Steve can defensive stance this.
Okay, so he could go like...
If you're bringing Corsair up to, complete that half circle.
This is just, I think, this is Alex feeling out where Corsair's threat range is. So I think, what you can see here is he's going to go for it with Fathom, or is he going to go for it with... It looks like he's mapping out whether Fathom can get the goal run.
Yes.
All right, Fathom will charge Kraken.
So Fathom is charging Kraken.
And I get anatomical from
Yeah, it's fine, yeah. No, it's fine. Go for it.
Okay.
So where is he getting anatomically from?
So she'll go to there.
That's from the Ebb aura.
So he's a 3-0 in cover
usually
for me, right?
Up, so Ebb gives every model in their activation.
Although you can't quite finish where you are.
What's the range on that?
You have to come back very slightly, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
The 4-inch aura from Ebb. So it's why you saw Ebb move up first activation.
So I got
into
6
base
hits because I got 6 of them and then rerolled for nothing. So rep to the 2, repped doesn't matter. We will.
So I think we'll see the Men's Tackle double
dodge
dodge out of Fathom here. Then we'll see a heroic probably.
Well, he got that one momentum he needs for it.
Yeah, so he has the one from kicking over. Yeah, so he now has a spare momentum. I think we'll see a heroic and an acrobatic.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No, he's buying another attack.
Dodge. This time 1 inch though, of course.
Yeah, okay.
And then I will acrobatics for 2.
So this is just an influence run. This is just to set Fathom up. So next turn, Fathom can go in and get the ball. And what we will see is a last activation of Azimuth come flying into the Corsair team.
Yes. I mean, at this point, Corsair has no targets to go to.
No, he's got no target
anywhere. So he's just wasted, how many? 6 influence?
Yeah, which is not unusual. I think, maybe the waiting, like going that early with tentacles and killing the ball, I think might have been potentially an error, but I think, we'll just see Corsair perhaps come into a position where it makes Azimuth coming in a lot more difficult, because obviously Corsair standing in front of his team does mean that he can basically ignore the knockdown, so Azimuth would have to wrap to the knockdown into Corsair, which isn't impossible. But
how much worth would it be to just ignore Kraken at this point and go directly for Corsair?
I think the tricky what Steve's trying to present for Kraken is to Azimuth is obviously Azimuth can come into Corsair, but Corsair does ignore the first knockdown he suffers.
Yes.
So basically what it means, it's not implausible that Azimuth wraps here though. I'm gonna check my cards, but let's see where. I think Azimuth's knockdown is on the 3rd column, I want to say.
I think so too, but you know.
Let's have a look. Captain Azimuth, no, he's a knockdown on the 2nd column. So basically, Azimuth comes in here, he needs to wrap to the 2, 10 dice with rerolls. That is not impossible.
Well, he can bonus time to 11 dice.
Yeah. Looks like Corsair may have towed into cover. I think regardless here, I think Alex is in a very good position for the goal run at the top of the next turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's up on momentum.
So we
haven't
talked
Kraken, but you
Sorry, go ahead, Scarov.
No, we haven't talked cards yet. And I know most of the people watching here, but give us a very, very short rundown what the cards influence at the beginning of the turn, please.
So I think obviously the big one is who gets to go first, which is usually based on who has the most momentum at the end of the turn. We know Alex now has more momentum than Steve because Corsair can't get to anyone. I wonder if this is interesting. He
can't do anything. So.
Okay.
So what are we seeing? Corsair's doing nothing. Okay, so now I think we'll see Azimuth come and win Most Slam into Kraken.
Okay, so this
interesting.
Oops, this is my 11-inch, but I need to.
I think this is just a placeholder for now.
Yeah, no, it's the direction of travel that's interesting. So we're seeing Azimuth come into Fathom, who I guess has the less scary counter attack.
Go like a little bit more this way, sort of.
Yeah,
I wonder if actually
nothing that she can counter attack with, basically.
That's over the line.
It's damage.
4 inches is hitting everybody.
I think she can't.
For tentacles. Knuckles and Corsair have stuff to get through.
So I don't know about this. I think he does have a goal on the table next turn, so that's pretty good.
Yes.
I'm not sure about this finishing position. I think he's only realistically going to be able to knock down. Well, he could knock down 3 models here.
Which would be 4. Siren is within his 4 inches as well.
It's beautiful. Would affect the range of the character play, is it? I'm trying to remember. I think it's range. Yeah, so he'd be on -5 range. So he can't hit. So he can't hit Siren. He might be able to dodge into position to hit Siren, but it's unlikely. He obviously Knuckles and Corsair will take 2 hits to knock down. So I think you'll see Fathom, Kraken,
make for that.
And then he'll probably have 2 swings left, so one of Knuckles or Corsair. I think personally I'd go for Knuckles here because it makes the goal run easier.
Yes. Oh.
There we go. Yeah. So there we go. He's decided that. I think that's the better play. I think obviously what Steve can do here is counterattack. Oh, he's really thinking about this. He's really thinking about this.
So here again, the inexistence of a clock comes into play. I know this is just where you go into the tank on the table as well.
Yeah. But I think he would want to go into the tank on the table because I think if he gets this right, he could end up with a goal at the top of next turn and a takeout. I think personally, looking at this, my thoughts is that Azimuth should just charge into Fathom and do as much damage to her as possible. That might be the way to go.
Also, you want to have as many of the momentum results as possible.
So Azimuth gets...
I think, the momentous results aren't too big a deal here. And then is
going to take a free charge on Fathom.
So he's going into Fathom.
Yes.
Cool. So 10 dice.
Did your declaration of defensive stance.
Yeah.
Looking for 5s. I got 2 of them, so 8 rerolls.
No defensive
7
stance.
of them.
Ooh.
Oh,
there's the big wrap.
Be 1 damage to her on the wrap, and then a momentous netted and dodge, and we will net.
Whom are you netting here? Knuckles?
We'll net Corsair.
He's taking on Corsair, so he wants Corsair sat down for the start of the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Knuckles can take his dodge straight towards me.
Yeah, he can get to Fathom and then be stuck.
Yeah, so we'll see a triggering of lightning reflexes here. Will it get Knuckles into 2 inches? I don't think so.
No, impossible.
So I'm going to stay there for now.
So so Knuckles isn't moving.
He'll make an attack on Corsair, who's a 2-0 against me because of anatomical, but I'm down a die from Fathom.
He's 3-0 because he's still 3-0.
I'm sorry, you're right.
And I will counter.
So he's going into Corsair. Corsair is countering.
Which I don't think is worth
all hits
it.
will momentous.
I think it's good because if he gets lucky here, this ends Azimuth's activation.
But he has a knockdown on 2, and the net has already done away the knockdown. So
so Corsair is now knocked
Corsair
down.
again, who's actually 2s now. My mistake on that.
Yep, 5 dice.
Still going into Corsair. This is just looking to throw.
All hits will momentously knock down Fathom.
So he knocks down Fathom as well.
1-inch dodge. So if I take a 1-inch dodge directly towards, I get in and I'm not engaged by anybody else.
So I wonder if what Alex is thinking here actually is to go first next turn with Azimuth, knock down tentacles.
Yeah.
I think he's going for the tentacles knockdown here.
We'll momentously
he's very quick on deleting
tentacles,
the roll.
and I'm gonna resolve it before dodging.
I think it's probably a habit of just playing fast, and obviously Alex play quite a bit. So there we go. Tentacles is down, the ball scattered. Now what this does is if he gets
if you click on the model and then
if he gets a good scatter here, he may be able to score with Azimuth. But I think more interestingly is if he gets a good scatter here, he can probably get 2 goals at the top of the next turn. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Does it?
Oh, I think it crosses Siren, so Siren will snap this.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Azimuth will take it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
you can't intercept circular scatters. Keep that.
Oh, so this is a really good start for Alex. This is
so 2 dice, looking for a 4 with rerolls.
So he's hitting.
Azimuth takes a shot. No, this is a goal shot.
Oh, he shoots.
That was a nice scatter on that.
Then he scores a goal.
That's pretty alright, yeah.
That is a good Azimuth activation.
Oh, no.
So you go ahead and kick it off.
So because now what you've got is Fathom on one side, Siren on the other. This is not good for Steve.
He's
I think
almost inadvertently going first next turn. I mean, he is up 6 momentum at this point.
I actually wonder, but what you could do is it at this point probably not. What would have been interesting for Alex would actually be to dodge back at the end of that activation with Azimuth and then force Steve to go first at the start of the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because then he's got 3 knockdown models. Oh, and there's the ball behind Steve's line. That is not a good start for Steve.
And Siren is
that's the turn.
Not as far away as you maybe want to away.
I don't think he can get. I think only Fathom can get to that for Steve now. So I think this is really bad.
Mm-hmm. So he's up 6 momentum for everybody who doesn't know Guildball that much. Both players.
Alex is up. Yeah.
Yes, Alex is up 6 momentum, so they both show a card.
Do this one, I guess.
And add the momentum on the card to the momentum they have accumulated, and the player who has more goes first. What happens if they have the same amount?
Then you have a roll-off. I see it sounds like I know rules, but you I think are more expert on rules than me. So this is interesting. I think Alex still will want to go first.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Right. I'll go first. You can't get your momentum, but you do have a cool head.
Having a 6 playing a 1 is a very safe play here because
good choice of card by Steve though, because he then can stand up one of his models even though he couldn't generate the momentum from going second here.
Yes.
So that's a really smart card from Steve. Obviously, Alex is just now going to load his whole team up.
Also, just as a for everybody to understand, there aren't many 7s in the game, if you even have one. Playing your 7 also just makes you calculate that your opponent who's up 6 momentum plays a 1 card, and that's the only chance where you get a 50% chance to then go first. So everybody, nobody plays a 7 here, just on the off chance.
No, it's not worth it. I think Alex was on 6 anyway. Yeah, no,
yes,
it's
6 plus
Steve
1.
was on. Yes, 7. So you're not going high card. I think that was exactly the right card for Steve, because what it does mean, the real risk there, if Steve doesn't have that card with the ball behind his line, Azimuth can just knock down Steve's whole team and walk away.
Yep.
And Steve couldn't stand anyone up because he would have 0 momentum. So that is a really good card to play, because he couldn't have had a better card for the situation given the poor scatter that he had.
So it's still going to be an Azimuth first activation?
I would have thought so, because I think it's definitely still possible for Azimuth to be killed by Corsair and Knuckles together here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Azimuth will go first. We'll hit Corsair.
So Azimuth's going first. He's hitting Corsair.
You have armor again. You're 2-1 against me. So
I think we're just going to see Resilience get cleared off Knuckles.
This is 1 miss, so 4 hits. That will be... I guess we'll do...
I didn't see. What did he roll?
We'll do an unmomentous dodge and knockdown on Kraken.
There we go. So he's taking the netted and non-momentous netted dodge, which will knock down Kraken.
Attack Corsair again.
So I think the next 2 will go on to Knuckles.
4 misses. And all hits will be a... Let's see, what does this look like? 4 inches. We'll do... And there's no way in hell I'm getting over there, so... We'll do a... momentous... Maybe I screwed that up. Oh well.
Who's not knocked down yet? Fathom.
I think currently Fathom is also knocked down. So Knuckles and Siren aren't knocked down. Siren can't be knocked down.
Disarm dodge on Corsair.
Okay, so he's hit disarm on Corsair. This is brutal for
that
Corsair. Yeah, this is really brutal.
So for everybody who doesn't know the layers of the game pitch, between the line that the Navigator Siren is standing on and the dotted line at 10 inches apart.
We'll do an unmomentous knockdown on Siren.
So she moves 9. There's no way she can get over there. The ball's pretty safe for this turn, wouldn't you say?
Funny. Okay.
Yeah, I think the ball is very dead. Well, Siren could be moved by Wander or by Windfinder giving her increased speed, so you might see that. But I suspect what you'll see is just Azimuth. I think we've seen an error from Alex here, possibly the first one of trying to hit Siren with netted, but obviously Beautiful stopping it. So I think we'll see.
Another attack. 6 dice. 2 misses. No misses will be... Oh...
He's hitting Corsair, isn't he?
He's hitting Corsair currently. Corsair is now disarmed as well, so he's -2 attack.
Do a momentous double push for Corsair.
So he's now going to double push Corsair away.
And then he's got 5 inches of walking.
And 5 inch, and Asim's going to jump.
So...
Is he going in or is he going out? My suspicion is he's going out.
I think so too. He can only stand up one model for now, doesn't he? So
yeah.
Whom would you bring?
And he can't generate much. I think at the moment, I don't know if he can get there, but I think you want to see if Fathom can get to that ball if you're Steve.
That's interesting. The hard disengage for Azimuth walking into cover here.
Yeah, and I think what you'll probably see after that is Wander drag him back behind that barrier so Corsair can't drag him.
Mm-hmm.
So Fathom is out. This is not good for Steve at all. I don't actually know what his out is here at the moment.
Just sack the turn and try to get into a stable position again?
I think by which point he could well be in a position to be 8 down. So I think you probably just go with Tentacles and stand him up. Or you just go with Corsair now and try and drag Azimuth in. But it feels bad. Oh, there we go. That's smart. We're going to see Fathom go, and we're going to see Fathom stand up and just clear the knockdowns with smelling salts off a number of those models.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an option.
So I think you're going to see Fathom clear Knuckles and Corsair. That's a good play.
Yep. Completely. I must admit, I completely forgot about the smelling salts.
I had thought about it before the game about the smelling salts, and I immediately forgot it. It still leaves Steve with a problem because he still cannot generate momentum. I think he's just contemplating this at the moment. I don't know if he's actually going to go for it. He could actually do it with more influence on Fathom.
How would you get there? Fathom? I think it's more than 8 inches to get to the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I think that looks well out.
And there's nothing for her to... Well, even if you could, there's nothing to serve
No,
off.
There's no terrain for her to bounce off. There's no models to bounce off. I mean, one option could be clear on Corsair and drag Azimuth in, but with only TAC 4, that's tricky. So I think what we're seeing...
Well, we're actually talking TAC 3 at this point, because Azimuth is in cover.
Fathom stands up.
Yeah, I think what you'd see is a drag.
And then she drops a smelling salts and clears the knockdown on Tentacles and Corsair.
That's an interesting decision. Fathom has stood up, cleared knockdown on Tentacles and Corsair. Well, I don't understand what's going on there.
No, he's only walk 4, so there's no way.
Yeah, I guess
one
Knuckles...
situation you need salt.
yeah. Finally, we see where salt would have been useful. No, there's nothing there. I don't see how Steve plans to get the ball back here. He can still stand up another model. He can still counter-attack with Coolhead. So he essentially, Steve has one momentum here.
Oh, I'll put up
because of the card.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So there we've seen Ebb take up position for another attack. Just to get his aura out and around Siren, and mainly to get his aura around Azimuth the next turn, but also to get Ebb into position. I think what you'll see is Alex go for the ball here, and then basically try and put by the end of this turn, I think he'll want Siren over in a position to collect the ball, and then what you'll see is him try and think about whether he can peel away one of the Navigator's models for a kill, so maybe Fathom, maybe Knuckles.
I mean, Navigator's Fathom is pretty isolated at this point.
Navigator's Fathom is pretty isolated, so I think this is maybe what Steve is thinking with clearing Tentacles. I think he moves Tentacles out of the way, and that means that Corsair can then go and drag Fathom in, and basically he's going for non-momentous results here, yes. Just going for the takeout.
Well, the question is, Tentacles must be the next activation at this point. If he really wants to do that.
I think you see Tentacles go.
If Tentacle walks away, I mean, you still got an activation. You can invest that activation into Fathom and just walk her away, and then the whole plan
But I
falls
think
apart
what
again.
it does make. Well, I think Steve can still ultimately could drag.
So I'm just thinking,
he's got 2 drag targets here for Corsair. He's got a target of Azimuth and he's got a target of Fathom. So I think Tentacles moving out of the way must be what he was thinking with that clear.
Yeah, but you only get the drag on Azimuth if you hit all of the attacks with Corsair.
I mean, Corsair could just stand 6 inches from Azimuth and either legendary or just buy drag off the hard buy it for
that
4s.
Would feel so bad.
At this stage, I think it's just a way for Steve to remove some of the pressure that Alex is putting on him. I think this is a really difficult position for him. I think he overextended very slightly, but I think Alex played it very well, and then he got incredibly unlucky with the kick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kick result sacked half of the game.
Yeah, it's brutal. Okay, so we're seeing Corsair go.
Okay.
I wonder if we'll see the legendary here.
Okay.
Then Corsair will.
Everybody waiting.
Yeah, we're all pausing to hear what Steve is going to say that Corsair will do. And remember, Corsair's only TAC 4 at the moment, so it would make sense. I think he probably goes. Does he want? Because he can't bonus time the drag. So I think he's looking. I think he's eyeing up Ebb, and I think he's eyeing up Ebb. Like now.
I'm going to use. Oh, that's really. Do I want to do it that way? 3.
He's got Azimuth and Ebb within range.
I'm going to use Cool Head to do a bonus time drag onto.
So bonus timing the drag.
Oh wow.
Cool Head to use. Got it. Yep. Go ahead.
And he misses it. And he misses the drag. That is
brutal.
That's high risk. Sure. That's really high risk. I think now he needs to buy the drag on Ebb.
Drag him again.
He's rolling for it?
Yeah.
He's going to buy it again, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just try it again. Drag.
He gets it this time.
Yep.
So what does he do here? See, I think this isn't great.
Great.
Because I think now what happens is Wander just goes and dodges Ebb back out. I'm pretty sure you can dodge when you're knocked down.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so I think Wander will just go.
5 because of.
And is Guide a dodge? I cannot remember off the top of my head.
I will know
3
in a
hits.
second.
High quality punditry for everyone.
Yeah. 4-inch dodge, yeah.
So this is bad. This is really bad because I think now what happens is Wander just goes and goes, yeah, you're all mine now.
So if I should be able to.
Yeah, they are not more than 10 inches apart, so
no,
that must be the play now. Unless he thinks of it and moves him out of the 5-inch move and then 4-inch
so he wasn't
range.
I think that is what we're seeing.
I'll go. That's fine. I won't push him. I'm just trying to see if I can get him into Knuckles as well.
That may be the range we've got up on Wander at the moment.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll punch you again. Do you want to do anything?
No. Go ahead. So still 5 dice. 2 hits.
We'll do 2 damage and a push.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mark the first one. Okay,
yeah,
he's at 8.
Yeah.
So we've seen Ebb get pushed into the dreaded Corsair scrum. The trouble is, Steve cannot generate momentum from this.
Mm-hmm.
So there are various options available to Alex now.
Okay, got it. So you have 5 influence left, is that right? 1 on Tentacles and 4 on Knuckles?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
So I think we've got various options for Alex. I think he could either think about committing Windfinder. That feels risky. But he could put full speed ahead on Wander and simply pull Ebb back out.
That is what I wanted to suggest. I think that's the smartest play.
I'd put it up so he was out of Ebb's thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think what we're going to. That's literally they just discussed that. I think what we're going to see though is Wander go and guide Windfinder in.
Wander will go like this and pull Windfinder up to there.
We could see a Windfinder legendary,
and that'll be it.
Makes sense.
Go ahead.
Could see that. But my gut feeling is Alex doesn't need... So he could Legendary and pull Ebb out of that. My gut feeling is he doesn't need to commit that hard here, though. I think he could just go...
Could you go to Corsair with Windfinder and still be within 6 inches of Siren? Legendary, get Ebb out of there, and Siren 4 inches forwards towards the ball.
That feels real good. Yeah, because Corsair can't counterattack. That feels excellent, in fact. I think that is exactly what we're going to see. That's a really good shout, Scarov.
Which is, again, a neck-breaking move.
It's brutal, because then...
so Knuckles will go. He'll punch Ebb, attack 6, 7, 8, 9.
If Ebb is in there.
I think Ebb's gone.
Yeah.
So let's just assume that he's going to hit the 2 every time.
It's
It's on 2 hits. That's 1, 2, 3. Only just. 4.
So that's Ebb taken out by Knuckles.
Again, for 0 momentum.
Yeah, for no momentum, which is sad times.
Okay. He did.
But it does take Ebb off the board. And then Knuckles is going to jog. I wonder where he's going to jog to. He could come.
Can he fit through Fathom and Knuckles?
I think he can fit through that gap now, yes. So I think what you're going to see is him get into position where if, as we said, the Windfinder Legendary comes into play, Knuckles is going to come and just crowd out Windfinder and make her life incredibly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wonder now if the play is actually to try and kill Knuckles.
Let's see.
Knuckles is one of the models, once Resilience goes, that Navigators can kill. So you could see either Fathom or Siren try and take Resilience off him, and then Windfinder go into him for the start of next turn.
Fathom would be a good crowd out as well, wouldn't she?
6 inches. So that's hitting 5 people, so I can move my whole team. Except for Fathom, obviously.
So we're seeing the Legendary here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're at least strongly being considered. That'll push Siren forward. I think that's the right play. We see Siren be near enough to the goal. I'm not sure she can score, but
Windfinder will go and jog to there and put full speed ahead on Siren.
There we go. So we've seen Windfinder jog to that position, put full speed ahead on Siren.
Legendary.
The Legendary goes, so we're going to see a bunch of dodges for the Navigators now.
Like so.
The question is, do you dodge in towards Knuckles with Windfinder now, or do you dodge out?
I think we'll probably just see... Yeah, so we've seen Siren move close to the ball.
You got 1, 2, 3, you got 5 people,
Yeah, I only have 4 to move.
Wander go somewhere. I'm not sure what he's going to do with Windfinder here. This will be interesting. Maybe. I think she goes to Corsair just for momentum and potentially getting in position for a snapshot. I'm not sure what the range is for Siren because it might be more feasible for Windfinder to dodge bounces off Corsair.
And Windfinder will go.
So we've seen Azimuth come and engage Corsair. There we go. So
she's going to back up a little bit. But
I'd put her the other side, but that's okay. Okay, so Alex has triggered Knuckles, triggered lightning reflexes here, which I think he might have missed when he was thinking about it. So that's good for Steve. I think the worry is still that you've got Siren with full speed ahead.
Yeah, totally.
Able to get the ball.
So his thing is -2, right? Or he's -2 total. Yeah. Okay.
So that's a shame.
Yeah. So we've seen Windfinder. She's just going to punch Corsair. Corsair can't do anything about this though. Like if Steve had any momentum right now, this would be really bad for the Navigators. Yes. But unfortunately, this would be a massive error by Alex. But the lack of momentum means there's no counter-attack coming in. So we're going to see Corsair get...
So I'm down 2, up 1, so 4 dice.
3-1.
Yep. Everything. So we will...
So what's Windfinder taking here? The dodges for momentum?
Oh...
I think it might just be momentum, yeah. What can she do? She could go for the I Spy and the knockdown, but the knockdown obviously won't work on Corsair, so she could take the...
So I can't see Siren, can I? Fathom can't block me alone, but that's not really what's happening. Yeah. Okay.
So this is where I would have liked to have seen maybe Fathom go into Knuckles and clear that, because actually Windfinder could have done got set up for a bit of serious damage on Knuckles.
Knock her down and put I Spy on her. And then she will attack Corsair one more time.
So Fathom is now knocked down by Windfinder hitting I Spy, which also covers the knockdown.
3 misses.
And then we've seen one more attack on Corsair, which I think will just be some sort of momentous dodge.
She will... What?
Yeah, she can take a dodge.
yeah, I can take a momentous dodge.
Makes sense. Take the dodge, which I will take the momentum, be happy.
And she will... Well, actually, can I get out of this guy? Maybe I can.
You can't get out of Corsair, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're going to see just Windfinder
get out of Knuckles because you're not within 1.
Come out of Knuckles, or I think Alex wants to stay engaging Corsair and not engaging Knuckles, but I don't think that's possible.
Actually, do the opposite. We'll get
out of Corsair, moving to Knuckles.
Yeah, I think he's still engaging Corsair whatever happens. And I think ideally he'd like to be engaging Corsair without being engaged by Knuckles. So he's done nothing there. He's just decided to stay there.
Was this enough value out of the legendary?
I think so, because it puts the second goal incredibly firmly on the table, and there's pretty much nothing Steve can do about it.
That's true.
And I think what you do now is you see, say, Fathom go. So I think, what is Steve going to do now?
Who are the models who haven't activated yet?
So Tentacles hasn't activated for Steve, but I think this looks.
I think.
So just seeing whether Siren can score here.
With an 11-inch run.
It looks to me like she's just out.
What's her kick again?
She's a 6-inch kick. 3-6, I think I want to say. She is and she obviously doesn't have rerolls. So I think if the goal was on, I think obviously Alex would be going for it. Yeah, she's a 3-6 kick, and she's currently in a 9-11 move because of full speed ahead with a free sprint. Now, that is not quite enough, I think. I think what Alex would like to do is take a shot with Siren, and then he's got Fathom as backup. He could, so I think if Siren was in,
so we do a really interesting thing. Kraken stands up.
Okay, so just seen Steve stand up, Kraken.
Oh yes.
Be done.
Yeah.
All right.
This ball being behind the line has just killed Steve this turn.
Where did marbles come from?
A rogue marbles has just appeared on the table. These are the joys. These are the joys you get on the internet. You get the joys of a rogue monkey suddenly trundling into the middle of the pitch. He now appears to have gone, so we assume zoos have reopened and marbles has been taken home.
You know what we should do? We should always have like a line of the committee standing behind one of the goals, just being there.
Oh, that's good. We should make little models for the Guild Ball Community Project, and they can all judge what everyone's doing. If any of you for some reason have missed the news that Steamforge discontinued Guild Ball and that there is now a community project running, please do have a look on the Guild Ball Community Project Discord. You can find it via Facebook on Gubs, or you can just direct message me on any sort of social media platform, or any of the other wonderful committee members.
I'll just put it into the chat here, because we can do something like that.
Yeah. That's high tech, that is. Okay, so we're seeing Fathom going here.
Fathom's going to charge. Well, actually, hang on. Oh yeah, nowhere near that. Okay,
Fathom's going to charge tentacles.
Any response? Oh no, you can't respond. Okay.
So this is just momentum generation.
So down a die. So 7 dice against a 4-1. 3 with 4 misses. 1 more.
What this does give, this move by Alex, what it does give Steve at least, and I'm saying at least here because this is not a good spot, and I say this having played, having got my ass kicked in my game in the first round, is it does give Steve somewhere to put the ball when Navigator score first next turn. Because Fathom coming in like that means that Steve can now just boot the ball out onto the right-hand side of the pitch, which I think is what he's got to take at this point.
She will
There's no other option, basically,
there.
Yeah, this actually feels like a bit of an error for Alex.
Is he setting up for a
3 inches
for a snapshot goal with Fathom?
I think if you could get this... Oh, he is,
Yes.
He is. That's clever.
Because now Fathom is within the 6-inch kick of Siren.
Yeah, I think what happens now is Tentacles just goes and stands directly in front of Fathom. So I think we're going to see some interesting play. Alex, of course, famously on the receiving end of the snapshot that was heard around the world at WTC a couple of years ago, where Connor Rooney attempted to take a 1 dice snapshot.
Nice. How did it go?
Well, he took the shot, but sadly he couldn't score. So this is what we're going to see. Yeah, so we're going to see Steve go with Siren here. Personally, I think I'd have gone with Tentacles for the bigger base, and you just stand Tentacles directly between Fathom and the ball, because obviously Siren can't actually block the line of sight to Fathom. Oh, there we go, tag along. There we go. That's what Steve's been thinking the whole time. He's looking at tag along to get Tentacles to the ball.
He still can't get there.
Tentacles probably still can't get there, but I think what that does do is make that goal shot, that snapshot, real tricky for Alex.
You think? Why?
There, we've now got 2 models engaging Fathom. We've got almost certainly the ball path to Fathom blocked.
No, there is a ruling that a small base model can never block line of sight to a small base
But what you're going to see is, so Siren alone doesn't do it, but the tag along on Tentacles means that Tentacles is now going to follow Siren and also be engaging Fathom.
Yes.
So at the end of the play, we're going to see that second Tentacles hopefully removed, unless Steve's going for 2 Tentacles on the pitch. We've already seen 1 monkey, so maybe we get a bonus octopus.
Octopi are... Is it octopi?
It's octopuses. You'd think it would be octopi. That everyone thinks that the Latin conjugation is octopi, but I read a very interesting book about the octopuses as a different type of consciousness to regular human beings, and I learned that the plural of octopus is actually octopuses.
Interesting.
Yeah. I can heartily recommend the book. It's called Other Minds. It's by someone who has probably the best sounding job in the world. The guy is an Australian marine biologist, so his job does seem to basically be diving in coral reefs and looking at octopuses, and then writing fascinating books about them.
Okay. What would I know? Because I'm a native German speaker, and the literal translation for an octopus is inkfish.
I mean, you've got to love the Germanic language for its exact, it is very literal. There's no flowery language there. What is it he says in Die Hard? I mean, I'm not American, but it's about English. I'm American, honey, our names don't mean shit. Look at that. That's okay. That's a nice play by Steve. That was good play that was smart play by Alex, and a really good counter play by Steve. I think you're seeing two high level players here. I think now what we're going to see is simply Siren sprint, get the ball, and probably set up to have a crack at goal next turn.
Has that ball bloody gone over the line?
Which would probably involve her maybe taking a charge into Corsair or something like that at the top of the touch. You just need a momentous dodge.
I mean, you're still up 3-0 momentum, and the ball's behind the lines. Picking up the ball now, is it actually good for the Navigators?
I think it's interesting. I think the thing is... Let's see what happens here. Tentacles can probably get to that ball now. And I think as soon as the ball comes back over the line, while the Navigator's position is pretty good... Okay, so I think we're going to see a Siren charge on Corsair.
From more momentum.
Yeah, which is the free charge, because it's full speed ahead. So what are we looking at here?
Going for all the seduced.
I guess Siren will charge Tentacles to there.
Siren is charging Tentacles.
With her free charge.
Yeah, so straight dice. +1 dice, sorry.
+1, yeah.
Yep, so attack, what are you on?
So we're seeing attack 8 Siren on the charge coming in. No rerolls for Siren.
Okay, we'll do 2 damage and a dodge momentously.
So it's 2 damage and a momentous dodge there.
Momentously.
That could.
She'll dodge to there, and then she will hit Corsair. So I'm +2 dice on this.
Yep.
So 5 dice.
He's now hitting Corsair. Doesn't go as well as he'd hoped.
Dodge.
So now I'm curious what Alex is doing here. Is he just building and crowd out some momentum, maybe?
Attack again.
Look to go.
There we go. We'll do a momentous seduce on Corsair, who will hit Fathom.
Okay, so what we're seeing.
So he's -2 but +2, and your 4s. So 6 dice.
So no, this is actually Alex made an error.
2 hits will be an unmomentous.
There's an error here because that is Corsair has not got that many dice.
Yeah, he does because of I Spy.
Oh, but he's losing 2 because of Knuckles. Because he's now in Knuckles. He's now an unfriendly model to Knuckles.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth interfering for that. Right?
No. I'm just it's a minor error, and there's quite a lot of complex interactions going on there. What we saw was Siren seduce Corsair to hit Fathom.
That'll be it.
So I think what we're seeing here is Alex trying to go for the Fathom takeout at the next turn.
Well, potentially.
There's so many Fathoms and so many Sirens.
Yeah, I think we're going for we're going to try and see the Fisherman Siren taken out at the start of next turn. Now, the big question here, the $1 million question: can Tentacles get to the ball? I don't think he can.
I'll take a part and blow. Go for it.
Okay.
He's not getting to the ball, but he's still committing to
everything.
Over.
So 3 damage to him.
Okay, so now we've seen Tentacles take 3 damage on the party from Fathom. But that's rough.
Yep.
Okay. So that's interesting. I wouldn't have gone that way. I think I would have gone for. I'd have gone for the ball. I think going to 8-2 there is really good.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So we've seen Easton play Form a Wall to make goal shots more difficult, and Alex play Never Say Die, which gives him momentum when his players are taken out, which is smart, but also gives him another bonus influence. So I think what we're seeing here is Alex just playing his low cards and playing for bonus influence.
Yes.
And Skerov, while the players allocate influence, I am very quickly gonna get something to drink because this is thirsty work.
That's actually a perfect idea.
Yeah,
we'll take shifts.
We'll take shifts. I will go now.
So for everybody who does not know, the models taking out come back on recovery level. That's the first thing that's going to happen here. Ab jogs onto the board.
God, I'm so inconsistent.
Obviously pretty far away from all the players. With the scrum being in the middle of
so that's
the Fisherman's side
that's
of the
11
pitch.
of my 14. No, sorry.
Allocation goes first to Navigators, then Fisherman, and I think.
14 of,
now
I should have had 16.
Disagree with me, but I think.
You did have 16. You said you
we
did.
might see.
Maybe I did count it right then.
Even a Fathom first activation, maybe.
We'll do.
Could be that the Navigators try to take out Tentacles before anything else happens.
Oh, what will we do?
I have returned.
So what do you think? Who's going to activate first to take out Tentacles before
Let's
the rest
see.
of the activations happen?
I think he wants the Fathom kill here. I think the kill he wants is Fathom.
Now it's me. Yeah, go ahead.
So Azimuth taking the whaling business on Fathom.
Yeah, can he get that? Let me see. So we could see a big Windfinder activation potentially. We've seen Ebb come back on over there. So here's the deal. Steve can definitely now get to the ball. That is possible. He can make the ball live, which is helpful. What he does when it becomes live is an interesting question. Who's around? So he's not going to lose. He can't lose Corsair, Knuckles, or Kraken first activation. I don't think.
Kraken again is at 0 influence. So.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll see Alex go for Kraken. I think we could see a goal run potentially.
There's
but Alex has Alex has definitely made the goal run harder for himself. But I think we could see.
I might change one. So 6, 10. Do I want the one on Kraken?
Easton's just debating taking the influence off Kraken.
Okay, sounds good.
So with Fathom having 0 influence on her, and her obviously not being that much of a factor this round, do you even try to take her out?
The takeout would get him up. I'm not sure if he can do it, is the only question. I think it might be tricky. I think Azimuth... Let's see where Azimuth's 3 damage is. That's probably the...
It's at the very end.
Yeah, it's quite high, isn't it? Okay, so we're not going to see... No, that is... He'd need to hit the 3 damage once. He will be down a dice. It'll be uneven dice. 4-0, I don't think that's going to happen, so I'm curious as to what we're going to see. I suspect we might see a bunch of knockdowns, and I think Steve might be about to deeply, deeply regret not putting 2 influence on Fathom this turn.
For the Smelling Salts again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what are we looking at here? I think we're looking at whether he can knock down Siren and Tentacles. I think that's what Alex is looking at.
All right, Azimuth will hit Corsair.
So he hits Corsair.
Yep. It's a 4-inch play.
So
he just means that he needs to get within an inch of Siren, basically.
All right, -1 for armor, so rapid nothing, unfortunately, but we'll momentously disarm him and dodge.
So we've seen a disarm dodge on Corsair. Yeah, I think sense. Steve. I think the 2 not going on Fathom this turn.
Oh yeah, totally.
Knuckles now going to do his thing.
I don't think he gets in, does he?
No, can't carry on. I can't get into range. Go for it.
Okay. Doesn't. Makes sense.
So
wasting such a strong ability is not worth it.
No, it's better to keep it live.
He'll hit Corsair again.
So he's hitting Corsair again.
So don't shake me. I think Corsair needs 3-inch melee just to thresh at him.
It seems fine. It seems fine.
And this is why I make no rules, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting. Oh no, yes.
It seems proportionate. Okay. I think I could see no problem with Corsair having 3-inch reach.
We'll do a momentous dodge and netted, and we'll put the netted on Knuckles. So
yeah, so we're seeing Azimuth clear resilience on Knuckles here. And then Azimuth is going to move out, and I think he's going to try and knock down Siren and Tentacles.
And then we will...
He's just going to jog over to Tentacles.
Yeah, this is real good play, real smart play by Alex, and real bad news for Steve.
Walk like so. I guess. Yeah. Walk like so. Hit Siren. So up 1, down 1. 5s.
Why is he hitting Siren and not Tentacles?
Hits,
I mean,
doesn't
doesn't
matter. Will be a momentous
but,
dodge on her.
Siren is probably
you're out of range.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, so we've seen Alex. So we've seen Alex miss the netted here. Now that's interesting.
Tentacles.
Yep.
Yeah. Why did he not attack Tentacles? Tentacles is a
I don't
4-1.
think. I think here.
And we'll knock him down.
Okay, so we've seen Tentacles get knocked down.
Got 3 hits. So yeah, okay.
I think actually Alex could have knocked him down by dodging to within... Oh no, so the range of netted is 0 against Siren. So that's an error by Alex. You could have just taken a straight knockdown on Siren there. I don't know why he declared netted. Well, I'm not sure why he declared netted, but I think he just again forgot about beautiful. So it's a great idea by Alex.
Lacking in
now,
execution.
just unlucky with the execution.
Well,
now,
you won't be getting the ball back, do you?
So I should report during the handover. I have been sent a text message by Easton, which is just a crying face. Like about it. It's
low, but that's going to be
so
bad. She could punch you.
So what we're trying to see is there any way at all that Steve can get to the ball?
On a 5-0. Like 2 on a 5-0 even.
It's going to be really hard.
I think Siren can't get there either. I think this is
great odds.
Yeah.
Look, if he moves out of Azimuth's melee, well, first he has to move out of Fathom's melee, right?
And I think the difficult thing here is that there is another range knockdown available, but actually, I wonder if the play here is actually to activate Corsair. And start trying to beat up on Windfinder a little bit, and then try and use drag to pull Azimuth so he's no longer engaging Siren.
Huh.
I think regardless of what happens, I think the trouble is now, because Steve can't get to the ball with this activation, I think Fathom will score.
Drag is on 3. Is on 3. He's in attack 4 now.
Yeah, so it's not great. It's not great odds.
She's
so I think Siren.
Yeah.
You need good dice to get that done.
Yeah, I mean, you could knock her down. So he could walk Corsair out of Siren's melee zone, knock down Windfinder, and then trigger drag onto Knuckles. I think that might not be. I think if you can, do you know what? It could be time to legendary actually. Could be time because what you want to do is pull Fathom off that cover, so that her. This could be a clutch legendary we're about to see. Pull Fathom off the cover, pull Azimuth out of Siren's melee zone.
I think we... Oh, so annoying with no momentum. So it's either Corsair or Siren.
He's definitely got the 6-inch aura up around
so
Corsair.
Siren's going to go, she's going to punch Azimuth.
Oh, this feels bad. So he's going with Siren
I'll poise. Yep.
To hit Azimuth. He's going to poise counter-attack.
He gets the dodge.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Steve is now out of Azimuth's melee zone. He needed that, and I think it's fair to say he probably needed that piece of luck. So we've got Siren out of the melee zone. That's good news. Then
she has got...
That could have gone horribly.
50-50. It's a literal coin toss, that. I think it's 53% to hit a single 5. But you can't say the man hasn't worked for that. So... So we'll see Siren take the parting blow from Fathom. Oh no, she's out of Fathom. We'll see Siren go, collect the ball. And where's Siren going to go with it? I'm assuming we're going to see Siren cross that line. So that Steve is... Oh, there we go. He's crossed the line. He's unsnapped the ball. Which is pretty smart because obviously there is Navigator Siren in play.
Yeah, so she'll take a parting blow from Fathom.
Okay, sounds good.
Alex rolls. Again, pretty brutal parting blows from.
So she will drop the ball.
That's
jump the ball, and
all
she'll
hits.
move. So she'll drop it and come back. So she's not going a full 9. So she's going to kind of drop it, and so it's just outside of an inch.
I'd have been tempted if I were Steve. I don't know if he could get there with a jog, but if he could have got to the ball with a jog, I'd have been sorely tempted to kick the ball off the pitch.
I feel proud of that.
Because actually, the ball going into the middle there, with full stack Knuckles and Corsair, is pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Steve can now generate momentum. He's back in business. So we're looking
at all of this 1.5 rounds. The Navigators couldn't capitalize on the massive issue of not being able to get momentum.
He's weathered the storm reasonably well. He's obviously, the issue is he's taken damage on Siren, he's taken damage on Fathom, he's taken disarm and resilience on Knuckles and Corsair, so their ability to kill things is limited now. But the advantage is, I don't think Windfinder can get to the ball. I don't think. So I think what you're going to see, that looks too far. I think his Siren, the Navigator Siren, could get there. But I think now there is actually a very real risk that Windfinder or Siren could die. Now that Corsair is able to sort of start the pain train rolling.
Well, now's the question if you want to use...
Siren will go. She'll attack Corsair.
Okay, so +1 dice.
Yep.
So Siren's going to try and hit Seduce here.
She'll Seduce... or actually... Yeah, sort of screwed that up. Yeah.
So Alex is saying he thinks he's screwed up here?
Who do you want to hit?
Knuckles. Hey, listen, can you give me like 10 minutes? I'm sorry. I'm getting a call from a family member. I need to make sure everything's okay. Sorry to the stream.
So we're just taking a pause here on the stream because Alex is taking a call from a family member, so he just wants to check all is okay.
Very polite of him to apologize to the stream.
That was yes. He sent his apologies to the stream. No, he didn't. He said.
Something.
Yeah, so he said something.
Well, now we just earned ourselves a think tank. What do you do with the seduction that we just got?
Yeah, I think what he's looking at is whether he can seduce Knuckles to then knock down Corsair or do some damage to Corsair.
He doesn't see Knuckles, I think.
It doesn't look like it. No, I would say. I think we could judge his ruling that. That in Alex's absence, I'm looking pretty closely at it with high magnification. Stream chat, do you feel differently? But it looks to me that Siren cannot see Knuckles there.
Okay, stream chat, weigh in, please.
Yeah, if there's anyone still listening to this.
It's Steam chat has been pretty active. Pretty active enough.
So let's see. But I think what are the two options for them? Let's try and talk this through. What could those players do? So I think here Alex is trying to do his best to rescue Siren and Windfinder. So I think if he takes the seduced, he probably has Corsair knock down Knuckles. That would be my guess. But then what does he do? I think he then is going to try and get to that ball, potentially. Start heading over in that direction. I think the difficulty here is he can't... I think what you could just see here is then... I think Corsair knocking down Knuckles means that Windfinder is not quite so badly crowded out. And then Siren runs away from Corsair.
So, if he says he wants to seduce Knuckles, and I just put it onto full...
I think we're seeing Steve removing the influence to try and line that up.
I think we might get a line of sight here.
Oh,
No, it's not.
No,
it's not hitting Knuckles.
No, that's not on. I think that is just not quite hitting Knuckles.
No, were I a judge, I would say, wait, I am a judge. I think it's not. No,
you are the TO.
Look at the distance between the line and Knuckles' space, and the distance between Corsair's space and the line. I don't think you can draw a line of sight there.
So I think Steve has got himself back into this game from a very bad position. I feel like it may have... I feel like Alex not getting all the knockdowns was unfortunate. He had the results to take them. He just called the wrong result. He called the netted result against Siren, but obviously she's immune to it because of Beautiful, essentially. So if he'd just taken a straight knockdown there, that solves that problem. So the play was strong. It was just one wrong decision. Mm-hmm. Personally, I still feel like Alex going for the goal at the top of this turn would have been better. And I think Steve is now in a good position. What there is, though, on the table for Alex is Siren is very near the edge of the pitch. She's very isolated, so that's a kill that's on the table potentially for Alex. The risk is, of course, that Steve now has Corsair essentially live. Yes, he's disarmed, but he has Corsair live. He has the Corsair Legendary live. So he can pretty much pull in whoever he wants. So I think what you'll try and do is reset that Corsair scrum in some way, and it depends maybe on the positioning after Alex's turn. So those are that's what I think would be the play. And for Alex here, it's interesting. He's playing Navigators very differently to how I'd play them, which makes sense. He's a very good player, so I'm not saying there's anything that he's doing wrong. He's made real smart decisions so far. I would personally, I think a bit more gold tempo might have put him in a better position, but I think he's still in a strong spot. What do you think, Skerolf? What do you think Alex is going to do here?
Seduce Corsair for a knockdown on Knuckles. Let's start there. Because that's pretty much the only choice he has for now. Siren can't get out this way now. I think it's going to be hard.
Hey, I'm back. Are you there?
Getting Windfinder out will be very difficult.
Yep, I'm here.
Cool.
So I took the influence off Corsair and Knuckles to check your line of sight for you, and there's a difference. You can see if you zoom in that Knuckles isn't in range of, isn't in line of sight of Siren.
Sure, whatever. I'll take a momentous dodge then.
Yep.
Okay, so we've seen Alex's back. He's just going to dodge out to Corsair.
Yeah, I think that should be okay.
Okay.
We've seen Alex dodge out of Corsair, and
alright, and then I'm going to attack again.
By the way,
another attack.
Same deal. This time we actually will seduce Knuckles.
I've zoomed in a bit. Is that better for everybody to see?
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah.
And Knuckles will hit
the lower
Fathom.
part of the pitch currently is not an issue.
So we've seen Knuckles now
-2
be seduced and buying an attack on Corsair, I think.
4s. So we will do a momentous double push on her.
Okay, so we're seeing Knuckles hitting Fathom here. So this is Alex really going for the Fathom kill.
So -1 die.
He's going big on the Fathom kill here.
And that'll be 1 damage. And go ahead.
So what's the takedown condition now? Windfinder?
I think Windfinder can definitely kill Fathom from here.
That's the only option he has, isn't it?
I think we have to. I think Steve's weighing up who to go with here. It's got to be Corsair or Knuckles. I think you go with either of them. I think just
Knuckles, I think, would be the better choice, wouldn't he?
I think you're probably going with Knuckles because you're going to be on a decent rack attack for that. You need the momentum. However, Knuckles knockdown.
So we're going to do Knuckles.
So he is going with Knuckles.
Windfinder.
Got it. Up 1.
Yep. So attack 7 on 5s.
Yep. So here comes the Knuckles attack. So
I will take the momentous push.
Okay, so this is good for Steve because basically what he can do now is put Windfinder, who is now legendaried, in melee range of both Knuckles and Corsair.
I'll punch her again.
But where she's now going to be unable to get to Fathom. So we're going again. And Steve has the first momentum and it almost turns. Just another push though. That's not enough for Steve.
Yep. Going well. I will do the.
And he reflects that in his comments.
Got it.
But that is momentum on the table for Easton.
Yes. Got it.
And then punch you again. Come on. Attack 7.
So attack 7 he should be doing more than Steve's got.
Still not enough. You may be surprised to find it is going to be another momentum push.
Got it.
So he's just basically he's only hitting 1 or 2 here. He's just getting momentous pushes.
Oh, there we go. He rolls.
And there he goes. He hits he hits a momentous knockdown.
He will take the momentous knockdown.
So we get Windfinder knockdown. Steve up to 4 momentum. I'm sure we're going to see a heal on.
Then spend 2 momentum to heal Fathom.
Big heal on Fathom.
Take her just off the board.
To 12.
And then I think we see Knuckles jog to a slightly different position.
Move.
Yeah, we see Knuckles just jog back, and this then allows Kraken to come in as well. So quite quickly, this has swung.
I think the Navigators are in a pretty bad position right now.
I think we've got what we do have available is the Fathom trick of smelling salts and Windfinder, but the issue.
I'm sorry, man. I'm getting called again. If this takes more than 10 minutes, I'll just forfeit. I'm really sorry about this. But
so unfortunately,
give me 10 more minutes.
It's fine. Go for it. I'll just finish my move with Knuckles.
Some personal stuff for someone else calling Alex, which must be pretty tricky for him if he's if there is anything serious going on. We hope there's nothing going on there.
Yes.
So Alex has just stepped away from the table. Obviously, big thing. Hope all is okay with Alex's family.
Which is the most important part of this, let's be honest.
Of course. So we're going to see here, so what Steve's thinking about doing is bringing Knuckles round to engage Siren. I think I'm not sure about that. I think I'd have liked to have left Knuckles engaging. I think that, it protects Fathom from Windfinder, but I think Knuckles being where they were protects Fathom from Windfinder.
Is Knuckles still engaging Windfinder?
That doesn't look like that's 2 inches, does it? Because I think no, because look, Windfinder's at the max reach of Corsair.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think what this means, I think that is a mistake, because I think what that means is that Alex can probably move Windfinder to be engaging Fathom, and just start beating off. I think that gives Windfinder a way to escape somewhat from Corsair, where there's a knuckle stage engaging Windfinder, then he brings in Kraken, then he goes with Corsair, and then all of a sudden, yeah, there's real problems there for the Navigators.
It's a shame that there is an influence on Ebb and none on Wander.
Wander would be helpful here. Yeah, that one influence on Wander would definitely be helpful.
Because disengage Windfinder, take Siren off the board, and reset your win condition at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think the tricky thing for Alex here is, even if there is one on Wander, I think that is the point where you just go, okay, do you know, even if you pull Wander pulls Windfinder back with Guide, I think at that point Corsair just goes, no, Legendary, pulls her back in. Or even a bonus time drag. You know, Steve has momentum now.
He's still, there's still a Siren. He would get the -1 on that, so
yeah.
It's not. It wouldn't. It would still not be great. It's a 5-0 bonus time, 5 dice, 4 dice again.
She'll be knocked down. So I think probably, yeah. I think even if the guide option was on the table, but I actually think this gives Alex a chance to do something to at least extricate Windfinder from the worst possible scrum, because I think I would have just jogged Knuckles back very slightly. I can see what he's doing. He's trying to position Knuckles so that Windfinder takes the crowd out if she goes into Fathom, but I think it's doable for Windfinder to still get there. I'm not sure, but it looks to me like there's a spot just next to, for Windfinder, right next to Navigator's Siren, where she can hit Fathom, not take the crowd out from Knuckles, and that then allows her to get away from Corsair. Whereas if he's essentially double pinned between Knuckles and Corsair, she's double pinned between them. She's not getting away.
That's true.
What do you think, chat? Let us know.
Chat's saying, hope things are okay with Alex family. That is true. We all hope.
That is the most important thing. Well done to you, chat. That is very true. We all hope Alex is okay.
And Mike the dog says, Easton's final game, the story of the quest to be able to generate momentum again.
Yeah, there is definitely something of that going on, I think.
It's like an Icelandic saga at this point, isn't it?
It's epic. It was an epic tale to see Steve try and be able to generate some momentum.
It's interesting that momentum production or generation has been the theme of today's games, hasn't it?
I only saw little snippets of the earlier game with Perkins, but yes, I heard about what happened in that. Do you want to tell the others what happened?
Well, Perkins passed the ball from Scalpel to Graves, and they were both stood behind his own goalpost, but Graves had already activated to give an atomically tooled up to Scalpel. He wanted to pass the ball, use the momentum, which he had none of, to move Scalpel forward, to get into position to wreak havoc, basically. And by the grace of not generating any momentum, Scalpel was stuck behind the lines, and he couldn't get in. And he dropped 8 points to his opponent as a result of that, and only barely with the last roll getting the final takeouts to go up to 12.
It's and it looked, because when I sort of I dipped into that game briefly. I was at work when it was being played, but I dipped into it in the background. Okay, so Alex is back now.
There's a tax issue with my mom's taxes that I needed to take care of, or our taxes are related. Anyway. Okay, so Knuckles is done. He's moved.
Yeah.
So we've seen this is now Easton's activation has ended. He's moved Knuckles to that position to be engaging Siren, basically protecting Fathom. I think Alex has to go with Windfinder now.
Yes, Mike, that's very funny. It's very true,
though. We're seeing unfortunate trolling of Easton by Mr. Michael Klein, who would never normally stoop to such behaviour. I've never known him to ever attempt to wind up anybody.
I think it's Mike's fruitless struggle to buy a house that makes him.
Is going to activate.
Well, there we go. So Alex done exactly what said he would do. He's moved
Windfinder
head over
to that spot,
to that position just there. He's going.
Knuckles'
But
melee.
Steve doesn't Windfinder get crowded out by Azimuth in this position.
I got again.
Thankfully, friendly models do not crowd out, but he is going round to try and deal with Fathom.
Here.
I don't think
know
he
I'm
can.
in Corsairs.
What do we think? Is that in Knuckles? I think
no, it's not. He's out.
Yeah, it looks fine. It looks like you can just get in there.
Yeah, so that's so. Oh, look at that! I called a play like a real pundit. So yeah, I think
so proud of you.
So if only I could call my own plays better.
Yeah, I think.
All right.
Okay, so when
she can get there.
Now you see Windfinder start attacking Fathom.
Obviously, no longer concede. Took the momentum for it, and she's going to hit Fathom, who's knocked down, and I'm +1/-1, so 4s, right?
So 5 dice, yeah.
Yep.
So, there we go.
Anything I want, which will be an I Spy on Fathom.
Yep. So there we go. So he's hits I Spy onto Fathom, which gives him an extra 2 dice.
So
does this make this means the takeout is looking pretty likely. That's a big error by Easton there. He got himself back into it.
Again. 7 dice.
But letting Windfinder be able to get out of that doesn't look like enough for Alex. That doesn't look like enough.
Okay, momentous 2 on her.
He basically needs to be wrapping to the 2 on these because he needs to do 12 damage.
Again,
which is hard.
Dice.
Yeah.
My vassal's frozen bit, but yeah.
So Alex dice taking a turn worse. Navigator's dice.
Momentous 2.
So he's getting the 2s, but he's not getting anywhere near the wraps that he needs to take out Fathom here. And I suspect.
Yes, yeah.
It actually could have been worth him bonus time. He had a lot of momentum. Oh, there we go. There's a big spike.
No.
So that's the 3, but it's too late.
And attack again.
Oh wow.
Momentous 2.
So yeah, so that is
go ahead.
That's not good for Alex. That I should have taken a dodge or something there at least. Now, what do we see? I think we see Fathom stand up and heal here. There's no influence on the table. There's no rush for Easton here.
There is. I mean, he must do heal Fathom now because otherwise the other Fathom takes out the Fathom.
So
yeah,
Fathom will activate.
Yeah, there we go.
Stand up and spend 1 and heal.
Yeah,
there we go.
Movement.
Got it.
So that deals with the takeout threat to Fathom. I don't think Alex. This is not a scrum Alex wants to be in. He does not want a scrum of Windfinder, Siren, and Fathom against Corsair, Knuckles, and Kraken.
Will activate and go there.
So Wander's come in to block Corsair.
I think that's a mistake. I think Fathom could have taken
totally. Yep.
the other Fathom still. It's 2 attacks.
Okay.
You can walk over, you get 2 crowds, and you have I Spy. You're up to attack 8.
She's not knocked down. No, it's too high, I think.
Too hard.
Yeah, this is suddenly. There we go. There's Kraken coming round. This is not good for the. Having been in such a strong position, this is not good for the Navigators now.
Activate.
Take out tentacles.
So I think we see, can Fathom get to the ball here for a start? I think she's going to go for take out tentacles, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I mean, hit tentacles.
The advantage here is that Alex is on 9 momentum.
So I'm up to 6 dice.
He only has Corsair left to activate, does he? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there's no way that Easton can get enough momentum.
Unmomentously.
So hang on 2 seconds. So you've got 3 hits, right? So you haven't got anatomical. Was it on 3?
No, I got 4 hits because he's on 3s.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
So that's a guaranteed take.
Last attack, no bonus time, kill him.
Yeah. So tentacles is gone. Okay.
Yep.
So now takes Alex to.
Got Ebb left.
Yes. Yeah.
So we still see a first activation by Fathom.
Of course,
at the beginning of the next turn.
I would like, if Easton's feeling bold here, I would like to see. I keep saying it. I'm going to say it again. I would like to see a Corsair Legendary.
Happens line of sight between Knuckles and Siren.
I don't think there should be line of sight.
I mean, they look base to base to me. But
I can move.
The line is slightly below that we're just meshing with. It's like I disagree. Sure, I don't think Knuckles can see Siren there.
Should we?
I think that might be worth it. They haven't asked for a judge's decision.
Literally can't hurt me.
So, and if Alex has agreed to it, I think
that's
true. You can't do that. But
okay, so Corsair's -2, +2, -1. So Corsair's going to punch Siren. Do you want to do anything?
I think what we do is Corsair goes and beats down on Siren, and then I think what you do is you go for again, I keep saying it, but I think you go for the Legendary and pull those models away from the ball.
So your tack 3 -2 +1. So you're -1 overall. So you'll be 2 dice, and I'm a 3/1.
Yeah.
So you could get a dodge.
No, I'll pass. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I am tack 6 down to 4. +1 is 5 dice on a 5.
Yeah, 5-0.
So Corsair is hitting Siren here.
So I'll take the momentous knockdown.
So Siren's knocked down. So this is momentum. Momentum is rolling for Easton now.
Which is, I mean, we're still having 9 momentum on the Navigators.
The interesting thing is, I think basically what you could see next turn, I think the danger for Easton is you see Azimuth go and just throw Siren off the pitch and get the ball back. Yes. That's what Alex is thinking here, I think.
And if he feels juicy, he could even go for a snapshot goal with fellow, right?
Yeah, he could go. There's some potential.
6 on 4s.
Yeah, I'm guessing Siren might be 3 to 4 inches from the edge of the pitch.
2.
Should be 3. The ball's around. The ball's 1 inch in size.
Again.
Yep.
She dropped it. Yeah. No, it's a little bit more than 3. Yep. She said he dropped it more than 1 inch off Siren. So
4 is going to be 3.
Yep.
So we're just seeing Corsair go do a bunch of damage to Siren here. I think we're going to see a Siren takeout.
It's his last attack.
Just do 1.
Yeah.
And then my last attack.
Oh, this is the last attack now. I think he goes to the bonus time here, to be honest with you. Doesn't need it.
Wow.
Kill you.
Okay.
So 1 for the takeout, and then +3 for
4 to 4 again.
Yeah, I still think Alex is going first. He's got. I think.
Do anything else at this point?
That's an error. I think what I'd have liked to have seen is Easton go for the drag, which pulls Azimuth into his team.
What did he do? I didn't hear that part.
He's just taken out Siren.
Okay.
I'd like to have seen a legendary here, but
no, I have Ebb.
So we're going to see Ebb sprinting over.
Ebb, I'm +3 on you. Okay, so I will. Actually, what is? Oh, I'm sorry.
So I think there's definitely 2 points on the table next turn, at the top of the turn for Alex. Unless Siren gets a real good counter-attack.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely 2 points on the table. I think
going for the Phantom kill with Windfinder first, I think it's the wrong call.
I think that's not happening. I think that's...
It's pretty much the same situation as earlier, isn't it? Because
I think we've now got Kraken and I think we've got Knuckles.
Kraken has added his part, that's true.
So I think we see quite a lot of crowd outs there. Yeah.
Okay, now...
So we're going for cards. That's the end of the turn.
That's interesting now.
We'll do this one. Okay, good to go.
Okay.
3 + 4, yeah.
So it's good all-round heal by Alex.
Yep. I will go first.
Which gets Ebb back up to 10, which is a sweet spot for him to be in, because it means a 4 influence model can't kill him.
Okay, sounds good.
So everybody who's wondering, the taken out model comes onto the pitch after the cards are chosen, so passing the orange lasers does not apply for Siren.
No.
You also can't pick them for dodges, and so on and so forth, which is something that has decided a tournament in Austria 2 years ago.
question was the Austria clause. Okay, so I think what we might be seeing here is whether Ebb can start working on Siren, and I think we'll see a snapshot attempt.
Okay, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
Let's see, what is he? Yeah, so Ebb's gonna go into Siren.
Does Ebb take Siren out?
That's 11.
I don't think Ebb does take Siren out. Well, I think
14.
No, I don't think Ebb can. It's possible. Not with 3 influence. I'm confused as to why he's got 3 influence.
I'll get it.
I'm sure there's a reason.
I'm just going to click new turn and clear all the auras and stuff off.
Oh yeah.
So I think what are we going to see? I think it might just be a straight go and collect the ball, make a pass, make a
force me to reallocate.
Oh, sorry.
Is Tentacle seriously standing over there?
No, he's now got 4 on Ebb. We've now got 4 on Ebb. Okay, so the Siren takeout is on there.
Yeah, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Are we accepting that Windfinder is not going to activate this turn?
I think Windfinder will survive that. She's 14. Maybe not, actually. No, I think Corsair will probably do Windfinder. It's close, though. And, you know,
we all would
never
do
rule
Windfinder,
out...
let's be honest.
It's a strong choice of words. Never rule out Corsair Easton's ability to miss at crucial moments. But yeah, Corsair probably kills Windfinder there. He's got 3 crowd outs, -1, so he's got 2 crowd outs. So we attack 8. But I think we see Ebb come in and delete Siren here.
So that is my 13.
Okay.
Easton has obviously forgotten that he has momentum at the start of the turn for 1 second because it's not happened to him so far. Oh, he's back. So we've seen Ebb come in. Ebb's coming in. He's going to.
So we're going to go.
Snap the ball.
3 inches like that. And then. No, that's.
Ebb's an interesting one, the 7-9, really.
Inches and.
He's okay. He is an okay model. We'll let you in on is Alex
okay, so he's gonna jog to get the ball and end up there.
Oh, that's an error. Is Alex over the line? No, he's not.
And he will attack Siren.
Is he over the goal line with the ball there? No,
I think that's not the intention.
Looking for 4.
Yeah, so he's going for the
5. Excuse me.
He's going for the Siren.
1.
Gets the
3
2
of them
damage
will be momentous 2 damage.
There it goes. And now your momentous do the rest, right?
I'm really hoping that I hit 2 4s here.
I know you are.
So here we go. Siren is going to counterattack.
Nope.
Just 1.
Oh, fuck me.
Easton with some choice language there, because he has a double dodge on 2 hits,
yeah.
Which gets him safe. So now Siren is in trouble.
So we're not making any money off this stream now.
Damage to you.
Yeah, we've
takes 1. He'll attack again.
Yeah.
For dice, 2. So 2 hits will be an unmomentous 2 damage with a sprung the leak on her. Do anything.
So Ebb does a non-momentous 2 damage to his character. Sprung a leak. Goes
2, 3, momentous 2.
And then he needs 1 damage here, so just needs 1.
Okay, it doesn't really matter who I kick it to. Nobody's getting tap in, but I'll kick it to Fathom, I guess.
Okay, so he's going for the snapshot.
Yeah.
And
do I like
down
that?
a dice, well, bonus time, 2 dice, rerolls, gets it, and we will snapshot 2 dice with rerolls, gets it. I'll keep the momentum.
Okay, so we've got the snapshot.
Why did you? I'm confused. So why did you reroll 2 dice? You need 2 4s. You didn't. So you've rolled 2 dice.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I got to reroll one of them. Yep. Oh,
doesn't get it.
All right.
So Alex misses. Alex misses the snapshot, which is a big difference. We had a little bit of lack of clarity there.
About that.
Okay, that's big. So
that might be the Navigator's game.
I think.
Did I... Bonus time. No, I did the right amount of stuff. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you only had. It cost you 2 to make the snapshot.
Easton still needs to get the ball safe here.
Okay, I think that's probably just going to end up on the goal. But,
that's going to hit the goal.
Yeah.
So Easton needs to do something here to stop Fathom just scoring.
All right, over to you.
So it's still on. It's still
we didn't see a goal here, so we should.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, there we go. They've done that. Yeah.
So no momentum for you.
I must admit, I took it off.
Mark, that guy is having moved.
So what have we got on the table? So Easton's options are, I think, so he needs to go just. I don't think he can save Siren, because I think even if he gets it to 5, I think Azimuth kills her. So the question is, how greedy does he want to be? But I think what he needs to do is get the ball saved. The ball is still Alex's big strong point here, because basically they are roughly level on points. So a takeout for Alex will be matched by a takeout for Easton. So I think Easton would rather have the ball on safe, Marcus, or just go and collect it, boot it over towards Tentacles.
So that would be disgusting.
It's like it would be peak London meta as it would be otherwise, don't I think, isn't it?
I mean,
actually, randomly, the other option here for Steve is to collect the ball and make a pass to Corsair.
Mm-hmm.
He is engaged though, so that's a bit trickier. But if Corsair dodged out, that would be.
So I think we do the easy stuff first. We're going to do.
Yeah, he has to go for the ball.
We're going to do Kraken.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kraken is just going to punch Windfinder.
So we're seeing Kraken going.
6.
He's attacking Windfinder. I assume aiming for a knockdown here. So there we go. There's the Steve dice coming good.
He'll do a momentous knockdown and a double push. I only need 1. So. And we'll push you out of engagement with Fathom.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So we're seeing Kraken knock down Windfinder, push her out of melee with Fathom.
Make sure I have one of everybody.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Might move you back slightly.
I don't know about that final position. That again feels like he's giving Windfinder a way of escaping.
Oh, the ball's just disappeared.
So we're seeing Kraken going, and then he's going to go and collect.
Yeah. So I'll just put another one on top of it. So I'm going to go and pick it up and delete the other one.
Okay.
So we're having the classic.
So it's like 1.5 to get the ball. Oh, just over 1.5. So he's going to go 2.
Is he now on the line?
So he's coming back. I think he's coming back. He's going to make a pass of some sort. I would. I suspect Steve might be a little wary of a space kick after the previous one going behind the line.
Kick the ball.
He's going for a kick.
Space.
So he is going for the space kick. Let's see how carefully he measures that. Now, there's a very slight risk, and I think he's not clocked it, that if it scatters to the right, it could get stopped by that obstruction.
Back a bit.
I think it's probably still okay for him, because I think Fathom will have a hard time getting through the Chubb Club in the middle of the pitch.
So now it goes 6 inches to the 1.
Yeah, 100%. He'll fail the pass and it'll scatter 6 to the 1. Alright, so this is him just looking at lining up the kick into space. Oh, he's adjusting it. That's bold, Steve. That's bold. Accurate. Okay, so the kick is good, so he does have the option of a reroll here. It's not gone as far as he'd like.
Fine.
I think he's going to be a brave man if he rerolls that. Okay. No, I think he's sticking with it. He's sticking with it.
I think that's good enough.
I think that's fine. So now I think we need to see Siren get deleted.
Windfinder will activate stand up with her movement and put full speed ahead on Azimuth.
Okay, there we go. So I think
go ahead.
He's basically kept the Windfinder activation, put full speed ahead onto Azimuth. So I think Steve just counters with Siren and just jogs her somewhere awkward.
Good, okay. So you've still got poised. That's annoying. He's going to do that. So we really want to do that now.
He's thinking about it. I think there's a lot of thinking going on. I think what Steve's considering is probably putting Knuckles to sort of stand on top of Azimuth. I think that might be what he's considering here. Personally, I'd just activate Siren. He's got momentum to clear now, so he can stand up any of the models he needs to. Azimuth is not going to take out Knuckles or Corsair.
Might take out Fathom.
He might take out Fathom. That's true. Fathom could go here.
So he must I think the right play is to protect your Fathom now.
Yeah, you could just move Fathom. Yeah, he could just move Fathom. But I think maybe what he's thinking is if he goes with Knuckles or Corsair, he can generate enough momentum to heal Fathom. And Azimuth does have -1 tack, and he only has 3 influence on him. So I think what Corsair's looking at here is the drag.
Yes.
So we're seeing it, yeah.
There, I need it to be.
That seems good. That seems good for Corsair.
Why is Corsair so slow is the question.
Easton asking why Corsair is so slow. The answer is because he's a fat tub of lard with a peg leg.
But, yeah, somebody cut off his leg. Who cut off his leg?
I don't know. I'm not the fluff guy. You're the fluff guy, Scarov. Who did cut off his leg?
It was actually Rage who cut off his leg.
Ah.
Season 1 lore.
What was the implement? The leg chopping implement of choice?
Well, the cleaver. I mean, it's Rage.
Of course, it was the cleaver. I was wondering if it was going to be like a power sword or a chain sword or something, some sort of mixed media. What's it called? Where they blend universes.
Oh, I might get corrected there by Mr. It was Ox, obviously. Oh, I got this wrong. I thought it was Rage.
Oh, I think Corsair's not quite in the sweet drag spot Steve thought he might be.
So I just think I don't think I can get where I want to get for your angle.
Isn't that directly towards?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to hit Fathom.
Yeah, I think what happens if Corsair drags Azimuth there, that hits Fathom.
It would hit there, so that's not going to be enough. Okay.
That doesn't do he once. Okay, so what's he going to do now? I think Knuckles goes on bodyguard duty here. Okay. I think Knuckles just, if he can fit through that gap, I think
a lot of problems. That would have been lovely.
Knuckles just jogs round and engages Azimuth and Windfinder. There we go. He's measuring it out. Does he fit? By eyeball, it looks okay, but the way that got quickly deleted, I suspect it might not be. Okay, so we're going again. Knuckles is looking at it. Yeah, I think he's fine.
He does fit. Yeah, he does fit.
Yeah. So I think we see Knuckles go and sort of start wailing on Azimuth essentially, and basically act as a bit of a minder for Fathom. So I guess what Steve's hoping for here is to generate enough momentum that he can put Azimuth in a bad spot and heal Fathom. Now, interestingly, what Azimuth probably does do.
He'll do is he will just walk round.
So I think Alex cannot counterattack, but he does have poise.
Punch. I don't want to be quite that close to Azimuth. Yeah, he's gonna punch Azimuth. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'll poised.
So Alex, Knuckles is punching Azimuth. Azimuth takes the poise counterattack.
Sorry.
I agreed. Yeah, on 5s.
Wow, I will take that. I'll take the momentous knockdown.
That's a big roll because Easton now knocks down Azimuth.
Fathom, so tack 6.
Yeah. Okay, so Knuckles now hits Fathom.
I will do the.
That's not a lot coming.
Momentous.
Just give a momentous push, I think.
Push.
Okay. Good.
I mean, Knuckles knockdown if you don't have the ball is pretty high up. So I think, and Easton, I think though he sighed at that, he did just roll exactly what he needed to roll on the important roll because Azimuth now has to sacrifice movement to stand up, which is.
We're going to punch Azimuth again, so tack 5 on 3s.
Yep.
So 5 hits. We're going to do the momentous double push.
So he takes a momentous double push onto Azimuth.
And just pulls him in.
Yeah, into the gang. Where does he actually want to put him though? Because so puts him in with Corsair. That seems fine. He's engaging Fathom now, but that.
And then we're going to punch him again. So it'll be tack 6 now because I've got Fathom in there.
Yeah.
So Easton takes one last swing.
Double push.
Takes another double push, pushing Azimuth into, I'm assuming, into Corsair. He should be up to, I believe, 4 momentum now, and I would hope that he's going to remember to heal Fathom. That's the.
Is Siren in healing range for Knuckles? I don't think so.
No, I think
over Knuckles to me. But...
Oh no!
Oh fuck! Well, obviously no.
Okay, there. The chat seems to be requesting another lore question. Let's go with killing business. Who killed Snakeskin?
Who killed Snakeskin? I'm going with John Wayne.
Then we
John Wayne.
John Wayne is my choice.
Heal Fathom.
Is he the mascot of the Hunters Guild, right?
He is the mascot of the Hunters Guild. That's correct. Yeah. John Wayne Snow.
I want to heal Fathom or not.
No.
There we go. That's 3 different genres all in one. That's Game of Thrones, that's Guild Ball, and that's the classic westerns all in one name. So have we seen a heal on Fathom? We've not seen a heal on Fathom.
Azimuth will activate, I guess, and stand up.
Yep.
So we're seeing now Azimuth,
and he will.
He's going to try and get himself out of this mess. How is he going to try and do that?
Looks like fun. Just walk and hope you're not getting knocked down.
I think you've taken part. Yeah, I think the Fathom kill Easton has realised it's off the table at the moment for Azimuth, so he can save on momentum.
-4 +1.
So what are we going to see here? I think we're going to see.
He will.
Alex is sounding a bit dejected here. I think he's not quite sure.
Hit Corsair. So I'm -4, 2 from Knuckles, 1 from Fathom, 1 from your card, and then +1 from the bird.
Yep, so you're
three.
So Azimuth's going into
attack
Corsair.
So hear me out. Wouldn't it have been a much better play to activate Fathom,
and
hit Knuckles once for the dodge,
I'll
and
hit
then charge Siren before he can heal her up?
Push. She out there.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to do is get
then I will hit Fathom. So I'm -3 +1, so 4 dice versus Fathom, which is 5s.
So he's
Any
moved Corsair out. He's going to take a swing on Fathom. I think if you can get Azimuth out,
1 hit.
that is helpful in terms of Corsair not just deleting him.
So that'll be an
netted on Knuckles.
no,
he can't.
An unmomentous netted and dodge onto Knuckles.
So he takes
dodge, I guess, doesn't really matter.
Takes the non-momentous
so Knuckles
dodge.
pops resilience on Knuckles. That's what I'm trying to say here.
He's got 1 more attack where he's going to now hit Knuckles to knock him down.
Then I will hit Knuckles again. Or hit Knuckles for the first time, excuse me. Any response to that? I am -2 +1. Okay.
So he swings at Knuckles again. He's going to take the netted dodge here.
Right? So 4.
That's 4 results. That's actually quite good.
Double push you somewhere where I can knock down a dodge.
Yeah, I think he knocks down Knuckles here and just tries to get Azimuth out, maybe. This is swung pretty strongly towards Steve, I think. I think as long as Steve, I guess what Alex is hoping is what Steve will do here is probably try and jail Windfinder, which is to kill her over the turn boundary, making sure he can keep that right hand side of the pitch free. So that Tentacles isn't under any ball pressure, and I think ball pressure is Alex's, as we said at the start. It's a lot of it would be about Alex's ball pressure.
Knock down Knuckles.
Yeah, so he knocks down Knuckles with Azimuth.
This way.
Takes the dodge.
Do the knockdown first, so you can't follow me, I guess. Go ahead.
Sure.
And he's not using full speed ahead to go away anywhere, which is interesting. I might have been tempted to use full speed ahead to kill.
Yeah.
To kill Siren.
Is Fathom knocked down?
Fathom is standing up.
Yeah, so he would get a parting blow from.
That's not happening.
From her.
So the only way you kill Siren now is if.
I'm going to take a moment's break, dear listener. I will be back in a second.
I want to point out that I've been not leaving this podcast since we started, and Steve's running all the time. I think it's the age. So what is happening now? Are we going to see the Corsair activation, or is Tentacles wobbling over? I think it's going to be Corsair. Also, Mr. Dumblock, I don't think it's Peck. Think harder.
So that's option 1. attack 5 on 5s. So that's probably the way to go.
So we might see a siren activation here.
Alright, so I think Corsair goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Corsair will spend 2 to stand knuckles up.
Okay.
Corsair will walk 4. It doesn't matter about the bird hitting me because I don't
It's
care.
just like you're questioning my professionalism, Scarov. But we're reaching cricket match lengths, so I'm going for another beer.
Yeah, I also have to take a short break.
Azimuth.
You have earned it. I,
respond.
on the other hand, have not. So
yep.
You can comment on the Corsair turn, which is most likely very deciding now.
Attack 6 plus
he
2
stood up
minus
knuckers,
1.
so just so you know.
Okay,
so attack 7 on 4s.
So saying Corsair go.
I'll take 1 damage and a push.
So we've seen Corsair with a bit against Azimuth.
4. I will do the momentous knockdown.
So Corsair now knocking down Azimuth.
Again, so 7 on 3s.
Easton just trying to build himself some momentum. This is the last momentum he has on the table.
So 6 hits will be. So I've got 1, 2. That was my 3rd attack. So I'm not going to kill him.
He's just saying he can't take out Azimuth at the moment. So what are his options? We're looking, I think.
I think we'll take.
Alex can probably generate 4 to 5 momentum. So the question for Steve here, I think, is whether he goes.
1 damage on the wrap and the push, and then we'll take a momentous double push.
Whether he goes big on the momentum.
So just 1 damage, right?
Yeah, and a double push, yeah. And I will push you.
Somewhere fun.
Yeah, somewhere a bit more fun. I'm going to spend both those momentum, I remember, to heal Siren.
Okay, so he's healed Siren.
Oh yeah, sure. Yep.
That's interesting, because that. If I was Steve, I wouldn't have been against Siren getting killed, because then he can just redeploy her on the right-hand side of the pitch.
6 hits, I'll take the momentous drag onto Fathom, and I'll take the 1 damage push on him.
So there we go, there's a drag onto Fathom, pulling her into both Knuckles and Corsair, so setting up exactly the scrum that Steve wants here. Fathom's going to struggle to get out of that.
Got it.
She's got no momentum and she's getting knocked down. It's going to be even worse for her.
Just checking melee ranges. So yeah, that's yeah, we'll bring her as close. We'll bring her there.
Okay, got it. Sense to me.
And then we'll punch her again. We'll punch Fathom. So we'll be tax 6 on 5s.
Yeah. So he takes a swing into Fathom.
Does nothing, and we'll
does
punch.
Nothing. And he goes once more.
Again.
Hits Fathom again.
And this we'll take the momentous knockdown on Fathom.
So Easton is essentially done onto Alex what Alex tried to do onto him at the top of turn 2, which is knocking everyone down. Fathom can stand up and buy a dodge, then hit some people for some momentum. So it's still possible that Alex could go first in the start of next turn.
So she goes 9.
So how's it going? Tell me.
We've had Fathom dragged in and knocked down. We've had Azimuth knocked down with a little bit of chip damage on him, but
2 inches over there.
Alex can still win the momentum race here. But has Fathom activated for the Navigator, for the Fisherman?
No.
It's Fisherman.
Fisherman. The Fisherman Fathom hasn't activated. The Navigator's Fathom hasn't activated either.
So I suspect what you see for Steve is Fisherman Fathom come and jog towards that box on the right-hand side of the screen, just to be in, probably take a heal and just to be set up for next turn.
Alright, Siren will jog to there and hit Corsair. Any response?
So Siren goes in to hit Corsair, so we're looking for some sort of
I am
momentous
up 1.
result here.
Huge 1. Okay. We'll do a momentous dodge, 1 inch.
Yeah, so that's just a momentous dodge. Siren will drop into cover.
There, my intent is to still be engaging him.
She's staying engaging Corsair. This is kind of bold.
And over to you.
Well,
you have
he won't
Siren and
activate
Tentacles
anymore.
left?
None of those guys
And
will activate
Fathom.
anymore.
Oh, and Fathom,
No,
yeah,
but
yep.
it's not where Siren wants to be on 5 health usually.
That's true.
So I think what we see now, what we do is probably I'm going to see Easton either go with. Who's he got left? He's got Fathom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he does have that. So he tax 6.
Siren and Tentacles. Have none of them been?
Fathoms, Siren and Tentacles.
Yeah, we do this. So
and Easton and Alex, has Wonder.
And
Fathom
Fathom.
and Siren? Or just
Siren just activated.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Here's.
Guy.
Well, the Siren Taker is completely out of the window.
Punch you.
Yeah, Fisherman Siren's moving. Spying attack on Ebb.
So tax 3.
Going for some sort of momentum here, I think. There we go.
The seducer's outrange. So I will take the momentous dodge.
Yep. So he takes it just taking a dodge. I suspect he spends that almost immediately just to heal Siren.
Yeah.
Heal.
There we go.
At this point, one really has to wonder if the last attack with Ebb holding the ball, clearing out that side of the board would not have been much better.
The bird is going to move to here with flying, not taking any parting blows from Fathom, Knuckles, or Corsair. And it's over to you. Go ahead.
Okay, so now we've seen just Wonder move around. This is really difficult for Alex, I think, because he is. This is not a position he wants to be in. You do not want to be in a scrum with a Corsair team as Navigators. I say this as someone who got into a scrum against Cooks with Alchemists. You just, so teams that fight and teams that don't. And that's interesting because with Alex's dominance of the first 2 turns, he wasn't able to hit damage on any of the big sort of brute squad. That's interesting. Easton going the other way. He's committing real hard to this scrum now. It's like,
it's his win condition and he has full control of the ball.
Yeah, I think I'd still have gone. I don't see what he gains particularly by the Fathom crowd out here. She's the one possible victim of that group that are around there, her and Siren. I'd have seen her go the other way onto the cover, and then you're sort of just nicely threatening. You stick 2 influence on her next turn. You're threatening a goal.
I mean, you could still just go, take Tentacles, take the ball, and just start wobbling towards a goal.
You could do that. I suspect.
Yeah, I think Fathom goes there.
Yeah, this I mean, again, I think.
And spends 1 to heal to 12.
So Fathom goes in. This isn't necessarily, I think, incorrect in Easton's part. He's just building out the scrum a bit more. I think personally, I'd have liked to have seen another threat vector of having the Fathom goal threat on the table. I think he wins that scrum as it is. So I think we'll see Alex go and try and save Navigator's Fathom, dodge a couple of attacks, momentum.
Use Smelling Salts to stand everybody up.
Could Smelling Salts Azimuth? Yeah, that's
himself and Azimuth, or herself.
You can't make a character play when you're knocked down.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So no, that's okay. That's one I know well. As much as I'd like to be able to, great balls of fire the ball off people or do things like that when I'm sitting on my bottom, I sadly can't. So I think Alex is giving this a bit of thought. Yeah. I suspect this is just going to end up being clear knockdown by the dodge and take a few hits on someone. Mm-hmm. And then he has to think about whether he wants to stand Azimuth up or not.
Okay.
That's probably the question.
Obviously, this
Fathom will spend
highly
1
influenced by the cards
clear her knockdown. Spend 1 momentum, that is.
Yeah, we don't know what cards he's but I suspect Alex has something high-ish up his sleeve, but Steve only has 1 momentum, so he should be able to
outpace him.
He should be able to do that if he's buying attacks in the right place.
She will acrobatics for 1, so 1 inch, 2 inches.
So what we're seeing is Fathom take the acrobatic,
and then
moving out of some of the
she will hit Corsair.
I'm just going to hit Corsair.
Yeah.
So plus 2 dice.
2 things if I want to counter. So you're Yes, plus 2 dice. So 6 dice on a 3-1. You're base to base.
So Alex is pointing out that he has 2 crowd-outs there. So if I've got
yeah,
6
okay, I will
dice,
counter.
Easton's going to take the counter-attack.
Alright, so we'll do a momentous double dodge to there. Go ahead.
Dodge.
So -2, so 4 dice.
Yep.
5. I'll knock down.
Easton hits the knockdown.
She'll spend her movement for it. And
Fathom sacrifices movement, stand up. Keeps attacking.
Another momentous double dodge.
So she's just going towards the ball. So Alex has realised this is his win condition. Getting Fathom out of the scrum towards the ball. And that's why, interestingly, Easton having his Fathom and Navigator Fathom over on that side would have been
another momentous double dodge.
Kind of helpful. And we see Fathom make another momentous dodge.
Well, we still have the Corsair Legendary on the board, so
I think this is maybe what Steve was thinking, is he can just pull her right back.
And over to you.
And actually, she's not got out
so
of
you've
Corsairs.
got nothing left. I just got tentacles.
So we just see tentacles go last here. Take a little trundle.
2.5 to the ball.
Yeah.
He's just going to see tentacles. So out and back, I think, and stay as far away as he possibly can. Maybe, as you say, start bootling his way towards the goal.
He's dropping the ball again.
Just unsnapping the ball. I'm not so sure about that.
Let's drop the ball.
It does put more distance on it. But Tentacles close control is pretty bad news for Fathom.
Okay, that's the turn then.
Yep.
So what are we seeing next turn?
Me too.
With cards going quickly, I think we see Alex go first.
Okay, I win.
So obviously the rough ground's fast. Yep. Who's going first?
So Alex
I guess I'll go first.
Decided he's going to go first. What are we going to see here?
So my whole team is poised for what it's worth.
I'm just going to hit a new turn.
Yeah, totally.
So this is tricky for Alex, I think. Don't know if he can get the ball. I think he has to try and extricate as many models as possible from that scrum.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not totally sure how he does that.
Okay, go ahead.
So seeing a lot on Azimuth. So I'm assuming the intent is to stand up Azimuth. So you see, again, fat stacks on the fat man. So you've seen pretty standard influence allocation from Easton there. We've seen a couple on Kraken, and then basically all the big boys have influence.
Yeah,
There's
I think
one on Tentacles, which I assume is to make a space kick or boot the ball off the pitch or something.
I think it's a run.
Could be a sprint, could also be a sprint, that's very true.
Alright.
So I'm not sure what Alex's first activation here is. He has a lot of models that are not in a good spot. Azimuth is in a bad spot, Siren is in a bad spot. I think Fathom is probably
Azimuth
okay.
will go. He'll
Azimuth goes.
Stand up with
sacrifices movement.
With his movement, excuse me.
Yep.
3 -3, so I have flat dice against Corsair.
You take a swing at Corsair here, I think. Because he's got multiple crowd outs which cancel out Easton's multiple crowd outs.
Yes. And then try to get. I mean, he has 4 attacks. He can.
Yeah, I'll hit Corsair. Any response?
Yeah. No, go for it.
Corsair and Fathom, maybe.
One miss. All hits. We'll do a momentous dodge and disarm on Corsair.
So it takes the disarm dodge on Corsair.
Dodge out of Fathom.
Which gets him out of one of the crowd outs.
So where's my disarm? And yeah, do you want to move Knuckles?
So Easton just thinking about taking the lightning reflexes on Knuckles to move him.
Okay. I will hit Corsair again.
Relevant move.
Any response? You good?
Yeah, it means that
so
Azimuth will only be able to get out on like his last attack.
That is 3 misses. Okay, so we'll do another momentous dodge, and we'll clear resilience on Knuckles.
Yep.
So he then takes the.
And then I will hit Corsair again.
And clears resilience on Knuckles.
Which is something I think is a little bit odd.
2 -1. Never mind, I'm going to hit Knuckles.
He's been clearing resilience of Knuckles every single turn.
No.
And
then didn't follow up
Okay, that's fine.
at any point.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm flat, if that changes anything.
I think it makes sense to clear resilience of Knuckles. It makes him much less threatening. He can still get some.
Right, we'll do
So it's only 3, isn't it?
I do agree.
So we'll do an unmomentous knockdown dodge
without
on
enough
him.
influence on Windfinder and to threat the takeout on Knuckles. All he's really doing is making counterattacks against Knuckles live.
Yeah, that's true.
6 dice, and we'll do a momentous disarm on that guy.
So we see basically Azimuth go
dodge, I guess,
and essentially drive the turn out. He knocks down Knuckles, he clears resilience, he disarms Knuckles, and he disarms Corsair.
He will heal himself.
And then Azimuth heals.
Go ahead.
So I think what you want...
Tentacles is going to run.
So Easton takes Tentacles for a sprint.
So 2 touches the fast ground.
The rough ground is now fast ground because of the card, and then so he goes a long way.
Let's just look at some crazy 10, 12. And then we'll drop the ball. So we'll go just back in, so we'll come back a little bit.
I don't like this unsnapping the ball in this position. Because what Easton is going to look to do here is get a takeout. And I think that still means the ball is like the model coming back on after a takeout, for example, Siren or something like that, can then get the ball. Admittedly, he is well in control of this now. Alex done a good job of mitigating what he can do, but it's only...
I can't fit in there. Okay.
So we're looking at the Fathom activation now?
I think he's looking at Ebb, possibly.
Because I think if you're not running with Fathom now, he won't get away.
I think Fathom can probably get away regardless. I think
it's going to be a tentacle goal. Just telling you now. It's coming.
Easton's threatening the tentacles goal. Threatening the tentacles.
All right, Ebb is going to jog to there with his.
So see Ebb jog. Ebb's just going to go put his aura around.
Just checking. He's actually got 12-inch goal threat. Oh my god.
He's a beast.
Oh.
Easton checking whether the tentacles is in on goal. That's how confident.
Ebb is going to go there and hit Siren. Any response?
No, go for it.
Cool. 4 dice, 3 hits, full hits. I guess we do the knockdown momentously as well.
Sure.
So Ebb goes in,
we'll hit her again.
Siren.
4s now, 2 hits, 3 hits. We'll do a momentous sprung the leak.
Throws sprung a leak. I suspect this is landing on top of Corsair.
It's 3-inch AoE. It's 2 inches from the man himself.
So he's dropping it.
Okay, it'll hit all those guys, so 2 damage to each of them, including my bird.
He hits his own. Look at that.
And
Alex has damaged his own Wonder with this AoE. So Knuckles is now got no armor, no
that'll be it for him. Go ahead.
I think the thing is, I'm not sure how Alex kills him.
I think he can't.
If he had enough, if he had Windfinder, maybe the influence on Windfinder, but Windfinder only has 2 on it. So
I just wanted to ask how much is there 2?
2, I think it was.
Because Corsair is standing on Windfinder space, so it's hard to tell. Again, I know you disagree. This is what War Table would make impossible. But
I don't disagree about War Table. I just dislike having to learn. You've seen my mastery of technology by my ability to log in to do this. I fear learning about new forms of technology. I'm a bit of a not a Luddite in that sense, but yeah, I think.
So I think we
know Vassal isn't as good as playing on a table.
He's knocked down.
We know War Table is a little closer to that.
Okay, so Kraken goes.
Have you beverage of choice for this evening, Scarrow? What's your beverage of choice for this?
I still didn't get around picking up something to drink, which I might mitigate now, as you've mentioned it. So I will surprise you with my beverage of choice. Give me a sec.
I look forward to hearing all about it. Listener, should you be interested, I am drinking a Tropical Deluxe Pale Ale. It's a 3.8% ABV.
He's going to punch Azimuth.
I hardly recommend it. They've sponsored this podcast. So we've seen Kraken come round now.
I already used poise. Knockdown on 1. No.
And I think Kraken's coming round to.
So he's going to be tack 5.
Have a punch onto. I believe
he misses. Because you didn't poise. So actually, he does hit you, and he's he'll be a momentous knockdown on you.
So Kraken goes back. Azimuth sets Azimuth back down,
and then he will.
Easton's thinking about what to do.
Azimuth's already healed himself. So let's punch Azimuth again, so we'll be straight dice.
Kraken hits Azimuth again, now he's knocked down, needing 3s.
Straight dice, or do I want to hit someone else?
He's debating it now, he's not, he's unsure. I think he's wondering about, does he hit Windfinder, does he hit Fathom? I I don't think it is a big deal either way at the moment. Personally, I think probably Kraken sitting Windfinder down would be better, but I don't think there's a terrible option there for him.
Yeah, we'll punch him again. So just no, let's punch Fathom.
I'll go for Fathom.
Yeah,
Going for
so it'll
Fathom.
be 6 dice on 5s.
Yeah.
So he sets Fathom down as well.
Sounds good.
I can tell you, I'm impressed by how the commentators on long form games, snooker, cricket, manage it, because just 2 hours 15 in, dear viewer.
All right, Windfinder will go. She's gonna walk to here, so she's engaging Knuckles and Corsair, and can't be pulled by Kraken.
So I've returned. What did I miss?
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize she had influence on it. Okay. Yep.
Kraken knocked a bunch of people down.
And she's gonna spend 2 to stand up Azimuth.
Knock
and
down
then she's gonna hit Knuckles. So I believe I'm -2/+2, so flat dice. Corsair, Kraken, Azimuth, Windfinder.
To hit.
Okay, so 2-1 with 5 dice.
Knuckles.
We will do an I Spy on Knuckles, I think.
Takes the I Spy knockdown on Knuckles. And this is where she has some more influence. She could be genuinely threatening to take
7
dice.
dice. Oh, 2-0,
So you asked for my beverage of choice. I got a Stiegel Biozwiebel.
2 misses, all hits.
Stiegel
That'll be momentous dodge.
That's a special one, which is it's not filtered. So it's
and then we'll spend those 2 momentum
it's a very young beer. I like it very much.
And
that sounds good. Okay. That sounds good. So I think what we've seen here is this Windfinder go. Basically, Ebb has Knuckles has had all the debuffs possible put on him. He's got I Spy put on. So possibly 15, maybe Fathom could do that, but I think the thing is just the sheer. Alex got stuck in a tricky position here, trying to not quite sure. I think whether there's too many models in that scrum for him to try and escape with all of them. But he's not got strong enough fighting pieces in there to overcome that big wall of tough hide and resilience and debuffs that Corsair presents. And I think unless he can pull something out with the ball, I think what you'll see is just the Corsair team just slowly grind out the Navigators here. Because the disarms have gone off, so the debuffs are out. But I think it just slows the pace of the damage. It doesn't necessarily stop it.
We just as a question, and this is a genuine question, not me being a wisecrack. If Fathom has to move right into the bosom between Windfinder and Azimuth there to not get pulled in by Kraken's gravity wave thing, right?
She is.
Yes, and I think what Fathom can do though is buy the dodge,
I think if she's knocked down,
bounce off Kraken.
So I think actually Fathom will go.
So this is the Navigator Fathom we're talking about here. I think she buys acrobatic, hits Kraken, dodges clear of Kraken, and then maybe looks to either to get to some terrain that she can bounce off and get towards that ball. And that I think is the play that Alex has to go for.
We'll do that.
He seems reluctant to do that, or he's not quite got the dice results he wanted to do that. So I'm interested.
Hey, Steve, I'm really sorry. I know this is unsatisfying, but I'm just going to forfeit because my mom keeps calling me, and she seems determined to figure this out right now. So
okay, so we've heard.
Sure?
Sorry. Yeah. I appreciate.
We've heard Alex just say he
leaves a bad taste.
He's going to have to forfeit the game. He's being repeatedly called. I suspect I must be praying.
I'm not sure when I'll be able to play again. So.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Unsatisfying...
I'm obviously sorry that you've got that going on at the moment.
It's all good. I mean, I think to be fair, I sort of think you have this, but yeah, unfortunately, I just got to go. Real life stuff.
Sorry, all right. Okay.
So we've heard from Alex basically that real life stuff is going the way. Unfortunately, has to resolve a personal matter. Apologizes. Easton also gives his commiserations. Obviously, that's sorry to see the game not finish. To be honest, talking purely about the game. Don't want to speculate about personal stuff for Alex, but it does look to me like I was just saying a moment ago that the Corsair has a pretty strong control of this game and actually would finish it off. You've got multiple models trapped and on low health. Even if Alex can get to the ball and score a goal somehow, I think Easton just gradually kills off Azimuth, Windfinder, and Siren.
Well, at this point, we're only 40 minutes for an end of game, in front of, away from the game ending anyway. So
yes, yeah, it has been long as Corsair games can be, definitely, especially Corsair games when the Corsair keeps getting disarmed. So I hopefully enjoyed that. Hopefully enjoyed that first stream from the Guild Ball Community Project. This is going on to YouTube, isn't it?
It is, and we will look at doing more of those. So you have no choice. You have to be my co-pilot on this every time now.
We'll find another member of the committee, I'm sure, to sub in should others not be available. But I think, do we just want to give a quick shout out? If you aren't aware of what we're doing at the Guild Ball Community Project, and organising this virtual World Championships is one of the things, please do come and find us on Discord. Easily, if you don't know the Discord link, I don't know off the top of my head, but you can just go onto Gobs, the Guild Ball forum on Facebook, and find it through that, or just come find me on Facebook, Steve Cole, or come find me on Twitter, Steve K. Cole, and we will point you in the right direction. Anything you want to say on that, Scarov?
Thank you everyone for joining. We had a peak of 20 viewers, so that's actually pretty nice for us.
Yeah, cha-ching.
Yeah, absolutely. We're making zero amount of money off this, but that's not the intention anyway. Again, thank you everybody for enjoying it. Please engage with us. We're very available. We try to make this for you. So if you have, if you still retain interest in the game, just hit us up, join the Discord, join the fun.
Yeah, and we'll be back next time for round 2. We promised to maybe bring some errata speculation with that, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a possibility.
For sure. Okay, well, thank you, Scarov. A pleasure being in your company.
I do thank you too for carrying me through this exercise. And talk to you soon, and maybe we talk again soon and hear each other again. Bye.
I'm sure. Take care. Bye.